This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Many passengers have a choice this morning to mask or not on airplanes and public transit.
I think people should still wear masks and still wear it on trains and buses.
I don't want to be one of those unlucky few that didn't wear a mask on the bus or a train and ended up passing away from it.
A federal judge in Florida has struck down a Biden administration mandate because of spiking COVID cases in some parts of the country. CBS's Dr. David Agus.
Many people need protection because either they're not vaccinated, because they have other medical conditions, etc. And we have to respect that at the present time with Omicron levels at a very high amount.
4 major U.S. airlines have dropped their masking requirements already. So has a popular rideshare service.
Uber has just posted an announcement on its website saying that as of today, riders and drivers are no longer required to wear masks. It's also scrapping its rule barring passengers from sitting next to drivers up front. But Uber also notes CDC guidance recommending masks for the medically vulnerable and for people living in areas with high COVID case rates. Vicki Barker, CBS News.
Ukrainian officials say Russia has launched a massive new offensive in the Donbass region. The governor of eastern Crimea just reporting Russian forces have taken control of his city. Correspondent Chris Livesay has more from Kyiv.
A major development after Russian troops pulled back from Kyiv and turned their attention to the east, setting the stage for major clashes of tanks and heavy artillery unlike anything we've seen since World War II, Ukraine says. But there are no safe havens.
In Washington, the founder of the Oath Keepers has joined a growing number of Capitol riot defendants seeking a change of venue for their trials. Correspondent Scott McFarland.
Defense lawyers have argued D.C. jurors are too traumatized and saturated with media coverage of January 6th. Prosecutors respond that the jurors are fair and media coverage of it is everywhere.
A 52-year-old man in California has been charged with murder after a 15-year-old girl was stabbed to death outside her high school in Stockton. Vincent Enriquez was her softball coach.
It hurts. I mean, obviously we see everybody here. Everybody loved this girl more than anything in the world.
Police believe it was a random act. Who said spring? Nor'easters brought snow to New England and lots of water to the south. WCBS meteorologist Craig Allen.
On the warmer side of this system, we have flood watches, flood warnings, flash flood watches as well. That extends all the way from Delaware on up into northern sections of New Jersey, as well as southeast sections of New York State.
S&P futures down 7, Dow futures off 47. This is CBS News.
There's always something new under the sun. CBS Mornings, weekdays on CBS.
Have you ever thought you'd like to buy and sell houses but didn't know how or where to get the money? My name is Ron LeGrand, and over the past 40 years, I've bought over 3,000 houses without using my money or credit and taught thousands to do the same. Today, even in a virtual environment, we buy nice houses in nice neighborhoods using no banks, realtors, contractors, or other costly entanglements, and build huge cash flow and wealth without the hassle of tenants, all without credit, little or no money. You don't need a license or experience, and I'll show you exactly how it's done. Text FREE to 99799 and I'll send you my free training. I promise I'll change the way you think about real estate and open the door to a new lifestyle that doesn't involve risk or rehabs and can quickly replace your current income. Text FREE to 99799 and let me show you how to take your life back and build cash flow and wealth from your home. That's FREE to 99799. Again, text FREE to 99799.
The first entirely private-funded space station astronauts are spending an extra day on the orbiting outpost.
They're staying an extra day because of bad weather in the splashdown zones off of Florida's Atlantic and Gulf coasts. So instead of leaving tonight, they'll undock tomorrow night for a Wednesday afternoon splashdown with site to be determined. SpaceX has splashdown crews in both the Atlantic and Gulf of Mexico. And as with the other SpaceX flights, the Axiom 1 crew will land wherever the weather is better. Peter King, CBS News, Orlando.
Longtime daycare owner in Virginia has been charged after 3 one-year-olds were returned to their parents high on THC. Her neighbors in Stafford are surprised.
Outstanding reputation. I mean, she is, as far as childcare goes in the neighborhood, then she's pretty much the go-to person.
THC was found on goldfish crackers left behind near the 1-year-old's high chairs. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Attention men, have you ever been embarrassed when the time was right, but you just couldn't perform? Now there's hope. The secret starts with a visit to Montgomery Men's Health. Men from 21 to 93 are performing better than before, even when the pills don't work. Their urologist, Dr. Tom Alderson, is using treatments that can help you perform for 30 minutes to an hour and a half of full male performance, all without surgery. Your total cost for the doctor's visit, all tests, including a PSA and testosterone test, is only $99. Give them a call. Even if the pills haven't worked or you have a medical issue like heart problems or prostate issues. If you have erectile dysfunction and want to perform much better, call now. 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663. Go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com. Get your confidence back. 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663. See website for more information on side effects. Treatments extra. Results may vary. MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com.
Here's NFL legend Terry Bradshaw.
This is it, your last chance with big money from Publishers Clearinghouse.
There are just days left to enter to win $7,000 a week for life on April 30th.
Yep, you gotta enter TCH.com before it's too late. You know, people really do win. Time's running out. If you want to be next, it's your last chance to enter, people. Come on, let's go. Hurry, enter at TCH.com. $7,000 a week for life, last chance. Enter now at TCH.com.
I don't believe you.
Economists are warning that sanctions against Russia
I do not believe you.
worse than the current
No,
state of your
I don't believe you.
Hi, this is Steve.
I don't think y'all give that money away. I don't know nobody ever got any of it.
Gold IRA.
I don't know anybody got any of that money.
To 989898.
I don't believe it. Oh, I don't believe it.
How to protect
I
your
don't
savings with
believe
gold.
it.
So
I don't
text the
believe
word
it.
secure to 989898.
There's nothing like hearing the songs you love on local radio with no subscriptions and no monthly fees. But there's a new bill in Congress that could stop the music. If passed, this bill would tax your local radio station simply to play the music you love. Text local to 52886 and ask Congress to support local radio stations. Help us keep you connected to the music,
I don't believe it.
weather, and traffic that you need each day. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Hey folks, this is Major Delay. Not too long ago, I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. Now, few things are as important as the health of my feet. First order of business, have your feet checked by a podiatrist. Without hesitation, I told my doctor, I'm going to Dr. Brian Kelly with Greenville Foot Care. I went to his clinic on Winton Blunt behind Baptist East. The staff was friendly and professional. I was in and out in less than 30 minutes. And in that short span of time, with a few simple observations, Dr. Kelly shed light on two major issues I had had with my feet and ankles all my life. I was amazed. Not only was the checkup quick and easy, I felt comfortable and informed. He even recommended certain running shoes that better fit the structure of my feet. And your insurance even pays for annual visits to a podiatrist to better your health. No referral necessary for most insurance. A walk, crawl, limp, roll, any way you can get there, but see Dr. Brian Kelly at Greenville Foot Care. Call for an appointment 334-265-7585 or check out greenvillefootcare.com.
No representation is made as to the quality of podiatric services to be performed or as to the expertise of podiatrists performing such services.
Stacking Benjamins with Joe and his good friend OG not only has great financial insight, it's laid back with humor too.
Joe and his gang.
The other thing that drives me crazy, do you remember Dean, our sound engineer, who's over there in the corner? He says Major. Is your dad from Baltimore?
My grandparents, my dad did that.
Are you supposed to not say the R Baltimore? Is that the deal? Is that Baltimore?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Well, supposedly, we're going to finish up the rest of this episode.
Oh, that was so well done.
Stacking Benjamins. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Don't miss Sean Hannity.
Biden incoherently adheres
Live this afternoon at 2 p.m. on News Radio 1440.
Your WSFA First Alert Weather Forecast on News Radio 1440.
Sponsored by News Nation. You're looking for real news. News Nation doesn't take sides or lean into political agendas. At News Nation, you get all sides. If you're looking for news without the noise, come back to the news with News Nation. News for all America. Go to newsnationnow.com/join us to find your television provider.
A beautiful but cooler day on the way today. Temperatures below average for this time of year by about 10 degrees or so. Ample sun from start to finish. We'll go from the 40s this morning into the upper 60s this afternoon. For tonight, another cool one down into the 40s. So jacket weather again Wednesday morning, but Wednesday starts a warming trend. We'll have more clouds Wednesday, partly to mostly cloudy, mid-70s, but then the 80s return starting Thursday and carry through the weekend and early next week. That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. Right now, things are looking good. Tuesday holds no major problems or accidents. Nothing being reported to send you on an alternate route. You keep listening. We'll keep you posted with the latest and the most accurate traffic conditions on the radio. Trenton State Community College is offering continuing education classes in pharmacy technician and medical billing and coding. Classes start June 6th. Call 420-4240. That's Trenton State Continuing Education. Buckle up, it's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, this is Major Delay.
When it comes to tires, bald ain't so beautiful. It's time for a tire makeover at Chico's Auto Pros. Better price, better experience, guaranteed. 239-9510.
Good morning, I'm Judd Davis. Here's what's happening in the news on this Tuesday. A federal judge in Florida struck down a national mask mandate for public transportation. Last week, the Biden administration and CDC extended the mask mandate to protect against COVID-19 through May 3rd. The judge said the CDC exceeded its authority, failed to justify the decision, and didn't follow proper rulemaking. This was for people traveling in planes and public transportation. Montgomery County District Attorney Dale Bailey has officially filed a motion to have Aaron Cody Smith's bond appeal revoked. The former Montgomery police officer killed Gregory Gunn while on patrol in 2016. He was convicted of manslaughter. On Friday, state courts denied Smith's petition to remain out of prison while his appeal is before the state Supreme Court. Before we make that bowl of cereal this morning, listen up. The reports that Lucky Charms are making people sick. Hundreds of consumers reported nausea, vomiting, and stomach pain after eating the cereal. Hasn't been a recall issue yet, but General Mills is investigating. That's your news on this Tuesday.
Are you a patient who has been diagnosed with sleep apnea and are being treated with a Philips CPAP machine that has been installed? There's another successful way to treat this problem, and that is with the oral sleep appliance. It is recommended by the American Academy of Sleep Medicine for anyone who cannot tolerate or use CPAP. It is covered by most medical insurances and is offered by Dr. Michael Irwin, a Montgomery orthodontist who has been successfully treating sleep apnea patients for the last 30 years. Left untreated, the serious medical associations of high blood pressure, heart attack, strokes, and cardiovascular disease will remain and will only result in a decrease of your quality of life and significant medical expense. Oral sleep appliances have been used successfully to treat thousands of patients across the United States. A short no-cost evaluation with Dr. Michael Irwin will help to enlighten you about the possibility of alternative treatment. Call his office today at 279-6910. That's 334-279-6910.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for healthcare can save the typical family $500 a month. And that's huge, but it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The customer satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. MediShare works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price. Very short use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need, 844-47-BIBLE. That's 844-47-BIBLE, 844-47-BIBLE.
When it's time to get a new vehicle, Larry Puckett Chevrolet is the best place to find your new Chevy or a great used car. New cars, SUVs, and trucks are being delivered daily, and Larry Puckett has their largest selection of pre-owned vehicles in over a year. Check them out online at LarryPuckett.com or visit them on Cobbs Ford Road in Prattville. And if you have an extra vehicle, bring it in for an instant cash offer. Whether you're selling or trading, your vehicle will never be worth more. Larry Puckett Chevrolet, where the customers do the talking.
Got questions about your roof? River Region Contracting has the answer. Google River Region Contracting today or visit their website, riverregioncontracting.com.
Joe Biden's reckless spending has sent inflation to a 40-year high, costing hardworking Alabama families over $5,000 a year. Katie Britt is a conservative fighter running for the United States Senate. to end the liberal spending in Washington. Here's Katie Britt.
As I travel across our great state, I hear from families every day who are getting hammered by rising costs. Inflation is a tax on every single one of us, and it is killing our economy. As Alabama's next senator, I'll fight to save our economy, not only for our seniors, but for the next generation who is being crushed by runaway inflation and destructive debt. Here's where I stand. If Congress doesn't balance the budget, they shouldn't get paid. No balanced budget, no paycheck.
Katie Britt will stop Joe Biden's tax and spend agenda and fight to restore President Trump's booming economy.
I'm Katie Britt, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Britt for Alabama, Inc.
Telling it like it really is.
That's the fact, Jack!
It's the Dan Bongino Show, weekdays from 11 to 2 on News Radio 1440. Sometimes you need to reset, refocus on your day. The moment where you take a deep breath and change the focus from the problem to the problem solver. This is Decisions with Kevin Elkins.
Tomorrow morning, if you wake up and the sun does not appear, I will be here. If in the dark we lose sight of love, hold my hand and have no fear.
And good morning, everybody. Good morning, and good morning again. And it's another day that the Lord has made. Good morning to you. I'm Kevin Elkins, and this is News Radio 1440. It is time, once again, for our daily bread. A word from on high. Something to change your perspective or give you a new one. Either way, it's good for the soul. It is April the 19th, 2022 AD. Today's daily bread is simply entitled, Come and Worship. The scripture insight today is Deuteronomy 31, 9 through 13. But Deuteronomy 31 and 12 says, assemble the people, men, women, and children, and the foreigners residing in your town. Govern yourselves accordingly. And again, it is April the 19th. It is a day that has never been like all the other days, and it's a day that shall never, ever come again. And once it's gone, you don't get a do-over. Nope. You don't get to call it from the past. You don't get to undo all the things that you do today. You don't get to come back and do the things that you should have done. So whatever it is that you do this day, April the 19th, 2022, make sure that if tomorrow should be, you'll be proud of what you have done this day. And like all the other days, and you've lived a while, you've been here a while, you've seen and you've heard all of the yesterdays. But there's no guarantee that you'll be here tomorrow. So whatever you do, make sure you reach back and help somebody else along the way as much as you can, while you can, until you can't. I'm not sure, but you may see some tomorrows. Don't waste them. Benjamin Elijah May said that whatever we do in life, we should do it so well that no man living, no man dead, and no man yet to be born can do it any better. We say if that is the standard by which you live life, you shall always be successful. Oh, you'll fail at a thing or two. We all do. but you'll never be a failure until you quit. We say give out if you must, rest if you can, but you never, ever, ever quit. You never give up, because quitters don't win. And winners, oh, they may fail at a thing or two, but they never quit. Keep moving forward. Good morning to you. Come and worship. That's our daily bread for this day, April the 19th, 2022.
Welcome to today's encouragement from Our Daily Bread. I'm Amy Boucher-Pye, and I called today's devotional, Come and Worship. As they sang praise songs together in the multi-generational worship service, many experienced joy and peace, but not a frazzled mother. As she jiggled her baby, who was on the verge of crying, she held the songbook for her 5-year-old while trying to stop her toddler from running off. Then an older gentleman sitting behind her offered to walk the toddler around the church, and a young woman motioned that she could hold the songbook for the eldest child. Within 2 minutes, the mother's experience was transformed, and she could exhale, close her eyes, and worship God. God has always intended that all his people worship him, men and women, old and young, longtime believers and newcomers. As Moses blessed the tribes of Israel before they entered the promised land in Deuteronomy 31, he urged them all to meet together, men, women, and children, and the foreigners residing in your towns, so that they could listen and learn to fear the Lord your God and to follow his commands. It honors God when we make it possible for his people to worship him together, no matter our stage of life. That morning in church, the mother, the older gentleman, and the young woman each experienced God's love through giving and receiving. Perhaps the next time you're at church, you too could either extend God's love through an offer of help, or you could be the one accepting the act of grace. The passage from Scripture today is from Deuteronomy chapter 31, verses 9 through 13. So Moses wrote down this law and gave it to the Levitical priests, who carried the Ark of the Covenant of the Lord, and to all the elders of Israel. Then Moses commanded them, at the end of every 7 years, in the year for canceling debts, during the Festival of Tabernacles, when all Israel comes to appear before the Lord your God at the place he will choose, you shall read this law before them in their hearing. Assemble the people, men, women, and children, and the foreigners residing in your towns, so they can listen and learn to fear the Lord your God and follow carefully all the words of this law. Their children who do not know this law must hear it and learn to fear the Lord your God as long as you live in the land you are crossing the Jordan to possess. Let's pray. Loving Jesus, you long that everyone would feel welcomed when they gather together to worship you. Help us to be those who notice others and who reach out in love. We pray in the name of Jesus. Amen. Thank you so much for listening. Today's encouragement was provided by Our Daily Bread Ministries.
Well. All right, it's time to rise and shine. Time to get out of bed this morning. You've had the word. Now it's time to get up with the birds. Still trying to figure out where the birds go at night. I don't have a clue. I don't have a clue where they go. I've been looking for them. I got to go out there with a flashlight one night, see if I can find them. I don't know where the birds go. Okay, maybe they go on the ground somewhere. I don't know. I don't know where they go. I don't know. Anyway, time for PT.
This is what he might say if James Brown was here today. This is what he might say. Yeah,
hey.
Party. Here we go. We got the groove. Everyone
All right. And now we pay homage to all of our armed forces of these United States Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, and Space Force. We don't really know what Space Force does yet, but we'll figure it out in the by and by. Good morning to you, Montgomery. Good morning to Montgomery Sanitation Department. They was working before I was this morning. Good morning to the Sheriff Department. Good morning to His Honor the Mayor. We need to get tougher on those panhandlers, though, Mayor. We just need to take care of that. Okay, I'm just saying. Also, what else we need to do today? Say good morning to the police department, to the new sheriff. Not the new sheriff, new police chief who I think had his first murder yesterday. Well, no, that wasn't the first one since he been there. That was just another one. All right. Listen. I'm not trying to be funny on this or not, but it seemed like the Office of Violence Prevention is having little effect. I'm just saying, we want to close that office down and spend that money on something else. Anyway, good morning to you. And don't get me wrong now, it was a good idea. It was a good idea, but none of these people are coming down to that office. I'm just saying. And you probably won't find them at home. So basically what we did, we gave somebody a job. Hey, the concept is great. Concept is great. But it all starts at home. And if you don't take care of them at home, well, by the time they get to the Office of Violence Prevention, a little too late for that one. Don't you think so? I'm just saying. That's right. No paddling in school, no paddling at home, no nothing. And then they grow up to be thuglets and thugs on the streets. I'm just saying, it's too late then. So why don't we just close the door, Office of Violence Prevention, and put that money in the Parks and Recreation Department or something? I'm just saying. Although I'll tell you what I'm willing to do. I won't call for that. If one person says I went down to the Office of Violence Prevention and I didn't do what I was going to do, then I'll shut up about it. I'm just saying. Listen, if they're not paying attention to the MPD, they ain't gonna pay attention to the OVP. I'm just saying. We need to draft. We need to draft back. That's what we need. We ought to make some of these guys. They want to shoot at somebody, send them to Ukraine. And the army go rolling along. Whew. Okay, I'm going to change that one out because that I know somebody who's the NCRC of that thing right there. We need to talk to him real quick about that interruption in my flow. Anyway, good morning to you. Time on the wall since it's 6:29 in the morning, right here in the capital city of Alabama, right here in Montgomery. So what's going on, everybody? Yeah, we just can't seem to. Yesterday, I think somebody got shot over in Gift Village. Somebody was killed actually in Gift Village. Listen. Again, I'm all for whatever we can do to, to stop some of this violence. I'm for that. But I do believe there's no political, there's no political answer to this social problem. There's an answer. Okay, there's an answer. And that lady up in wherever she was the other day, that principal who put the wood on that little monster, She's supposed to give him 3 whacks, but she gave him 10. Well, one thing about it, he won't forget it. He won't forget it because he probably was a hell raiser. Okay. See, now I just got to make the mayor a little bit tougher. Okay. I just got to get him to be a little tougher. It's not about race, Mayor. It's about a living in a community that we don't have to worry about walking down the street and somebody come through there and drive by and shoot us. That's what we're talking about. Okay, it's not about race. Okay, it just really isn't. It just seems to me that everybody in this town, and all the people of influence in this town, are afraid of doing things because of what happened in 1962. Come on, man. Yeah, this is 2022. Okay, I'm just saying. It just seems everything around here is tempered by somebody's abstract or misguided perception. Now we don't put as many people in jail, it seems to be, and we don't put people out of school anymore because we want to give them a diagnosis, and then they think for the rest of their born days they get to use that as an excuse to do just about any damn thing they want to do. Okay, because I had an IEP in school, so that means my brain ain't working the way it's supposed to. But here is the one thing that I don't quite understand. Now, I could be wrong about this. I got to take a swig of this coffee on this one here. I could be wrong. But it always seems that people who supposedly have all of these mental issues can always figure out, they never forget what money is. I mean, they don't. So if all of these people, I'm just asking the question. If all of these people, if a majority, if a vast percentage of people who sit on our corners and sit in our highways and byways, if a vast majority of these people are mentally ill, how come they remember money? I'm just asking the question. Why is it that nobody that's mentally ill forgets about money? Okay? And the sign. I mean, how do they know what the sign says if they're mentally ill? Okay, I'm just saying, how do you forget it? I mean, if I'm sick, the last thing I probably think about is money. I'm just saying. So it would be my conclusion that if one was truly mentally ill, I didn't say not addicted to drugs, because that's a possibility, but how come, I mean, like in school, we give IEP, individual education program. Okay. So why is it that they never forget how to act bad? I don't get this. So the mental illnesses of today, okay, they remember the things they want to do, but not the things they should do. Okay, that's what I'm asking. I mean, has anybody ever thought about that? I mean, all these excuses being made for people. Well, a lot of them are mentally ill. Well, if you're really mentally ill, then you don't know anything about money. Okay, you don't know a $5 bill from a $2 bill from a $100 bill. Okay, so I'm just saying. Maybe I'm thinking outside the box here. I'm thinking outside the box. Why is it that crazy people? Now, the real crazy people don't remember money. Now, they really are crazy. I want to help them. I want to help them. I do. I want to help them. But a guy who sits out there for 8 hours talking about, can you give a brother $1 or $2? Okay? He's not mentally ill. Right? No. Mentally ill people don't care about money. All right? I'm just telling you, they just don't. They don't care about money. So I'm just asking the question. I mean, one of the problems we have in our society today, we make an excuse for everybody's bad behavior. Okay, I'm just asking the question. So, is money genetically passed down through our genes? And we know about money genetically. Because that's the only rationale that I can think of if you mentally ill, why you forget everything but the dollar. I don't know. Okay. Well, let me take a break. That was my observation for the morning. And that was just, something I was thinking about, okay? I'm just wondering. We'll be back after this. Okay, enough of that.
Sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples has your workspace covered with functional furniture and organizational items curated by Staples Work From Home Style Squad. This week, save up to
nobody love everybody.
Limit 2. Explore solutions for your workspace at Staples, the working and learning store.
A beautiful but cooler day on the way today. Temperatures below average for this time of year by about 10 degrees or so. Ample sun from start to finish. We'll go from the 40s this morning into the upper 60s this afternoon. For tonight, another cool one down into the 40s. So jacket weather again Wednesday morning, but Wednesday starts a warming trend. We'll have more clouds Wednesday, partly to mostly cloudy, mid-70s, but then the 80s return starting Thursday and carry through the weekend and early next week.
That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. So far, so good. Still no major problems or accidents have been reported to send anyone on an alternate route. Interstate systems moving smoothly into the Tri-County area from Clanton, Auburn, and Greenville, and 231 south out of Wetumpka, north out of Troy, still carrying light traffic. New Toyotas are arriving daily at Reinhardt Toyota on the East Boulevard. You can see their entire inventory and shop online at reinhardttoyota.com. Buckle up, it's the law. From Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, this is Major Delay.
How many miles have you driven past your scheduled auto service checkup? A few hundred or a few thousand? Call Chico's Auto Pros today to schedule a quick service at our Atlanta Highway location.
25 grand. Listen to News Radio 1440 every weekday from 8 to 5 for the 25K Workday Payday National Keyword. Text it in and you could win an instant $100.
It's time to get outdoors and tackle your to-do list. Whether you're mowing, gardening, or tackling heavier projects at the camper farm, be prepared with John Deere equipment from Sun South. We'll help you find the equipment to meet your needs. And owning a John Deere is more affordable than ever at Sun South with 0% financing on most models, including the 1023 tractor with loader for only $169 a month. So why wait another season to do more? Come see us at Sun South. Equipment for those that do.
Matt Parsley, Budget Car and Truck Sales, Montgomery and Prattville. I just got back from my doctor's office, and he told me I need to turn down the stress a notch or two, and that's got me in a real pickle. So, to relieve the stress, I'm going to make it possible for people to buy with just a nickel. Most dealers require $1,000, $2,000, or even $5,000 down. At Budget Car and Truck Sales, you can drive a like-new car, truck, van, or sport utility with just a nickel down, stress-free. Are credit problems in the past keeping you stressed out? My credit approval process will take the stress away. Owe too much on your trade? We'll pay you up to $4,055 for any trade, stress-free. If gas prices are stressing you out, the Nickel Pickle Sale will help you out, stress-free. We are the People's Car Dealer. Budget Car and Truck Sale, 61 Mendel Parkway, next to Fraser Church, or in Prattville, 508 McQueen Smith Road, across from Walmart. Visit us online at buybudgetonline.com.
Politician Mike Durant says he's conservative, but have you looked to see who's behind him? Never Trumpers, same people who backed Hillary and Biden. Now they're here in our backyard, trying to trick us into backing their man, Mike Durant. These Never Trumpers recruited Mike Durant, asked him to be their man in Washington. Mike Durant's ads, they're funded by wealthy California donors, Never Trumpers. So why are these never-Trumpers backing politician Mike Durant? Because when Mike Durant talks about gun rights, he sounds like them.
From a military perspective, the first thing that needs to be done is to disarm the population. I mean, let's face it, if we could do that in some of our U.S. cities, that would be a pretty good step toward law and order.
Disarm the population. Have the government go door to door and take our guns. No wonder the never-Trumpers are behind Mike Durant. Once you see where he stands, you can't support Mike Durant. Alabama Rhino PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising. Paid for by the Alabama Rhino PAC and not authorized by the candidate or candidates committee. AlabamaRhino.com.
Here's the deal. I've had constipation with belly pain, discomfort, and bloating for years. I've tried a lot of laxatives and fiber supplements, but my symptoms keep coming back.
You could have a chronic condition called irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C. Linzess, or linaclotide, is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. Linzess works differently than laxatives. It lets you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2 years old. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. There could be more to your story with IBS-C. Talk to a doctor today. Say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS. Sponsored by AbbVie and Ironwood Pharmaceuticals.
Attention men. Have you ever been embarrassed when the time was right, but you just couldn't perform? Now there's hope. The secret starts with a visit to Montgomery Men's Health. Men from 21 to 93 are performing better than before, even when the pills don't work. Their urologist, Dr. Tom Alderson, is using treatments that can help you perform for 30 minutes to an hour and a half of full male performance, all without surgery. Your total cost for the doctor's visit, all tests, including a PSA and testosterone test, is only $99. Give them a call, even if the pills haven't worked or you have a medical issue like heart problems or prostate issues. If you have erectile dysfunction and want to perform much better, call now. 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com. Get your confidence back. 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663. See website for more information like side effects. Treatments extra. Results may vary. MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com.
It's Sean Hannity here, and now you can hear me live every afternoon. It all starts at 2, and it's all happening right here on News Radio 1440.
Okay, I was down in the FM studio trying to get some reason and logic to my question here. There's a good liberal down there, and she. Okay, anyway, I'll tell you about that later on. Yeah, good morning to you. I'm seeing who this is. I'm gonna be nice since I put the question out there this morning. Hey, who's this? Look. No, I'm saying, how can you forget everything but the dollar? Well, how can you wait a minute? If you mentally ill, what you doing? How you reading it? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, okay. Well, I'm just looking for the answer. That's all. Good morning. Who's this? quickly. I'm gotta run.
God says on Jesus better that he was judge the poor and needy.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should talk about people having trouble believing God.
Well, I can't help them.
Talk about people who do not believe God.
I can't help them. I don't have the problem. I mean I don't have the problem believing in God, but I can't help people. I cannot help people who don't. I'm going to leave that up to you. I'm going to leave that up to you. Okay? Because if you think, let me tell you something. If you believe that browbeating people about what you believe is going to change what they believe, then maybe you got some mental illness. Yeah, okay. Anyway, never argue with a guy with a microphone. Okay, because I'll win every time. Good morning. Now it's time for the important things of life, the lessons of life, the things that that we should know by living. Okay. I don't know, Ed, but I tell you, if I didn't like somebody, I wouldn't listen to them every morning. I'd go find something else to do with my time. I mean, I ain't mad at you, but you and I are never going to agree. Okay, because you certainly don't convince people. You certainly don't convince people about your way by browbeating them. Anyway, good morning to you. Let me see. It is time for the lessons of life, and these are things that you learn by living. But first, the word of the day. Now, this is one of those words that you gotta spend a little time on this word because, well, it's a word that's not used too often in the English lexicon, at least in the American lexicon, because English came from across the pond over there, and we don't speak English, we speak American. But anyway, so the word of the day means with all due haste, promptness in response. So the word is alacrity. 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 It means with all due haste, promptness in response. So, bam, you sitting there and the CO's in the field, and the CO sends a message down and says, with all alacrity, you need to get it tomorrow. Okay? Or your boss says, or the teacher says, you need to get down to the principal's office with all alacrity. Okay, that means you need to do it right now. Okay, you need to get up out of your seat right now with all alacrity and head down the hallway. Okay, that's what that means. So when we use that word, we're serious. Okay, that's not a request. That's not well, do it when you want to. That means you need to knock that out right now. Okay, that's what that means. Okay, with all alacrity. Okay, with all due haste, promptness, and response. All right, that's what that means. Now, here is the lessons of life. Now, these are things that you learn by living. You don't learn from somebody else. You may have heard about it, but you only learn these things by doing it. Okay, you got to have a little age on you, to see some things. Okay, Jimmy Valvano in 1993 said that, and this is not a business life, but I think he's right about it. He said, you ought to do three things every day. You should laugh, you should cry, and you should think. And if you do all that in one day, you have had one big time day. You've had that. I've had days like that. And if you live long enough, you will too. I'm just saying that. So that was some great advice, Jimmy Valvano. Jimmy V is what they call it. Anyway, what is the life lesson today? It has often been said that, especially by young people, you got to go somewhere and sit down. Your hair is gray and you this and that, and you now sometimes young folks are right about that, depending on what you think you're trying to do. I mean, you can't be 70 years old think you're gonna beat the young folks in a basketball game. Okay, although you could beat them, but but the chances are, they're gonna get you because they have. So, but what you need to do is bring your soda pop right there on the sideline and watch a free game, okay, between the boys, okay. So you can give counsel, but young folks think that once you get a little gray in your temple right there, once it's over. You just waiting for the hearse to come in front of the house and pick you up. Okay, they figure you have no more usefulness left. It's done. You through, and it's to the contrary. A lot of people in their younger, older ages actually came up with some of the most brilliant inventions that ever been left. The guy who came up with Benjamin Franklin was kind of old when he was doing the electrical things and all that stuff. The guy who owned Kentucky Fried Chicken, Amway, they're old. I think Colonel Sanders had to be about early 70s. Then he came up with chicken, and we still eating that chicken. Okay, I'm just saying, yeah. But anyway, so here is the lessons of life today, though, that I believe that we should remember. It is often said that people stop pursuing their dreams because they grow old. And I would tell you that we grow old because we stop pursuing our dreams. Okay? So do not forget your dreams. Dreams make reality palatable. It makes the things of life palatable. Okay? So it is not true that people stop pursuing their dreams because they grow old. We grow old because we stop pursuing dreams. And the minute you stop dreaming, for all practical purposes, you stop living. Keep dreaming. I still got one. I got this one. I mean, I'm working on it. It's a tough one, but I'm still working on it on my one dream. And if I never reach it, okay, so what? But I'm gonna keep trying. I'm gonna keep trying. You know what my dream is? I can't tell you. I'll tell you later on, one of these days. Okay. So anyway, it is not true that people stop pursuing their dreams because they grow old. We grow old because we stop pursuing dreams. And remember, dreams are the fuel that allows you to get beyond the reality of life sometimes. Never stop dreaming. Never do that. Always have something down in you that keeps you moving forward. All right? Moving right along. It is April the 19th. It is the 109th day of this year. It was April 19th, 1995. A truck bomb destroyed the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building in Oklahoma City, killing 168 people. Bomber Timothy McVeigh, who prosecutors said had planned the attack as a revenge for the Waco siege 2 years earlier, was convicted in federal murder charges and executed in 2001. In 1775, the American Revolutionary War began with the Battle of Lexington and Concord. In 1865, a funeral was held at the White House for President Abraham Lincoln's assassination, who was assassinated 5 days earlier. His coffin was taken to the U.S. Capitol for a private memorial service at the Rotunda. The year was 1939. Connecticut became the last of the original 13 colonies to ratify the Bill of Rights, 147 years after it took effect. 1943 was the year on this day. During World War II, tens of thousands of Jews in the Warsaw Ghetto began a valiant but ultimately futile battle against Nazi forces. The year 1951, General Douglas MacArthur, relieved of his Far East Command by President Harry S. Truman, bid farewell to an address to Congress in which he quoted a line from the ballad, "Old soldiers never die. They just fade away." 1966, Bobby Gibb, 23, became the first woman to run the Boston Marathon at a time when only men were allowed to participate. Gibb jumped into the middle of the pack after the sound of the starting pistol and finished with 3 hours, 21 minutes, and 40 seconds. The year was 1970. I'm still trying to figure out why people run marathons. I haven't figured that one out yet. I can't figure that out because, I mean, why run? That's the police after you, or dogs after you, or the enemies after you. But why be run? I don't know. I mean, that's kind of like why people climb mountains. I don't know. I mean, I guess because the mountain's there. I guess it gives you something to do, I guess. Then some people ask, well, why do you jump out of airplanes? Well, jumping out of an airplane can save you sometimes. Airplanes go down, you ain't got to go down with it. I'm just saying, that's a practicality to jumping out of airplanes. The Supreme Court in 1977 in Ingram versus Wright ruled 5-4 that even severe spanking of school children. Now, I want y'all to listen to this. In 1977, the Supreme Court in Ingram versus Wright ruled 5-4 that even severe spanking of school children by faculty members did not violate the 8th Amendment ban against cruel and unusual punishment. So the reason why we in Alabama, some places in Alabama, we don't paddle because we're a bunch of wusses and we let the animals run the zoo. Okay, that's why. So there's nothing illegal about putting a piece of wood on that butt top. Okay. The year was 1989. Sailors were killed when gun turret exploded aboard the USS Iowa in the Caribbean. The Navy initially suspected that the dead crew members had deliberately sparked the blast, but there was no evidence to suggest that to be true. 1994, a Los Angeles jury awarded $3.8 million to Beaton Motors' Rodney King. In 2005, Cardinal Joseph Ratzinger, whatever how you pronounce his name, of Germany was elected Pope in the first conclave of a new millennium. He took the name Benedict XVI, or something close to that. In 2013, a 19-year-old college student wanted in the Boston Marathon bombing was taken into custody after a manhunt that had left the city virtually paralyzed. All right, and in the name of diversity, we got some going on right here. There are 3 people charged in Montgomery after they robbed a brother. They got a black guy, a white woman, and another black girl. So in the name of diversity, they robbed the guy like a 3-on-1. Okay, but we got some diversity in that, and since we all want diversity, they just helping us out. So now when they go to jail, they can't say, well, why did you pick up? So I'm just saying, and diversity is everywhere, isn't it? Yeah, it's everywhere. Okay. So that's what you got. Okay, they robbed. I don't know why young kids want to do it. Now there's one woman looked like she on kind of drugs right there. I mean, that wasn't her best picture she probably ever took for the police department. I'm just saying, you might want to work on that. Anyway, we'll be back.
USFA 12 News Update on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, I'm Judd Davis. Here's what's happening in the news on this Tuesday. A federal judge in Florida struck down a national mask mandate for public transportation. Last week, the Biden administration and CDC extended the mask mandate to protect against COVID-19 through May 3rd. The judge said the CDC exceeded its authority, failed to justify the decision, and didn't follow proper rulemaking. This was people traveling in planes and public transportation. Montgomery County District Attorney Dale Bailey has officially filed a motion to have Aaron Cody Smith's bond appeal revoked. The former Montgomery police officer killed Gregory Gunn while on patrol in 2016. He was convicted of manslaughter. On Friday, state courts denied Smith's petition to remain out of prison while his appeal is before the state Supreme Court. Before we make that bowl of cereal this morning, listen up. The reports that Lucky Charms are making people sick. Hundreds of consumers reported nausea, vomiting, and stomach pain after eating the cereal. There hasn't been a recall issue yet, but General Mills is investigating. That's your news on this Tuesday.
News Radio 1440 is WLWI AM and 95.1 HD3 FM.
This is the CBS World News Roundup, sponsored by Rocket Mortgage.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Get ready for naked faces in subways, buses, trains, and planes. Correspondent Errol Barnett is at Reagan National outside Washington.
Transportation Security Administration will no longer enforce the federal mandate. Cheers erupted on flights Monday afternoon after airlines announced one by one an end to the mask mandate. This comes after a Florida federal judge ruled the CDC exceeded its authority. Travel industry analyst Henry Hardevelt. How much of a surprise was this to you?
On a scale of 1 to 10 or 12.
Some New York City subway riders say they'll stick with the old rule.
It doesn't matter to me what they do in Florida. I'm still going to be wearing my mask.
I personally choose to wear one for my own safety and well-being.
Uber has also dropped its mask mandate in eastern Ukraine. Fighters on the front lines defying Russia's ultimatum to lay down their arms and cease what the Kremlin calls senseless resistance. Correspondent Chris Livesay has details from the capital.
Russian troops have begun the battle for Donbas, says Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, setting the stage for major clashes of tanks and heavy artillery, unlike anything we've seen since World War II, Ukraine said.
Moscow claims it hit more than 1,200 targets overnight. Cleanup after deadly explosions in Afghanistan. Police say at least 6 people were killed, including students inside a high school in Kabul. One photographer reports walls splattered with blood, burned notebooks, and children's shoes. The witnesses say they saw a suicide bomber detonate himself. Students and staff at Stagg High School in Stockton, California are in mourning after a 15-year-old girl was stabbed to death on campus. A 52-year-old man's been charged with murder. School Superintendent Johnny Ramirez.
Join us in praying for the family. Can't put myself into that. Just horrible.
Police say it was a random attack. A mystery illness has been recorded in kids in Alabama and the UK. CBS's Vicky Parker has details from the foreign desk in London.
Mild hepatitis is common in children following a range of viral infections, but some of these children have required specialist care at liver units, and a few have needed a liver transplant, and scientists still don't know the cause.
Hugs are back at Disneyland. After more than 2 years without, fans waited in long lines to be the first to give Minnie, Mickey, and the gang a big squeeze at the park in Anaheim. S&P futures are down 1. This is CBS News.
The World News Roundup is presented by Rocket Mortgage. When you need cash out of your home and a simple way to get it, Rocket can.
Have you ever thought you'd like to buy and sell houses but didn't know how or where to get the money? My name is Ron LeGrand, and over the past 40 years, I've bought over 3,000 houses without using my money or credit and taught thousands to do the same. Today, even in a virtual environment, we buy nice houses in nice neighborhoods using no banks, realtors, contractors, or other costly entanglements, and build huge cash flow and wealth without the hassle of tenants, all without credit, little or no money. You don't need a license or experience, and I'll show you exactly how it's done. Text FREE to 99799 and I'll send you my free training. I promise I'll change the way you think about real estate and open the door to a new lifestyle that doesn't involve risk or rehabs and can quickly replace your current income. Text FREE to 99799 and let me show you how to take your life back and build cash flow and wealth from your home. That's FREE to 99799. Again, text FREE to 99799.
Heartbreaking news from a footballer.
He is considered one of the all-time greats in the world of soccer. Now, Cristiano Ronaldo has suffered what he calls the greatest pain parents can feel. The soccer star announced on social media that his newborn son has died. Ronaldo revealed last year that he and his longtime partner were expecting twins. The other twin, a girl, survived. In his announcement, Ronaldo called his deceased son our angel. Steve Futterman, CBS News.
A fallen Hollywood star is expected to take center stage at his trial in Virginia today. Johnny Depp, who lost his role in Fantastic Beasts, is expected to take the witness stand in his $50 million libel battle with ex-wife Amber Heard. He claims she defamed him when she wrote about alleged abuse in a Washington Post op-ed. Depp lost a libel trial against a British tabloid. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Another Guardian Credit Union story.
Hey, so what are we doing with your hair today? I need a trim, a new dishwasher, and a much-needed vacation. Do you see any grays?
Sounds like you need a personal loan. My friend just got a loan from Guardian Credit Union, and he used it to upgrade his kitchen appliances.
That's what I need to do.
Guardian has great rates and a friendly team that makes payments affordable.
Perfect. I guess stylists really can fix everything.
Connect with Guardian for all your lending needs.
Joe Biden's reckless spending has sent inflation to a 40-year high, costing hardworking Alabama families over $5,000 a year. Katie Britt is a conservative fighter running for the United States Senate to end the liberal spending in Washington. Here's Katie Britt.
As I travel across our great state, I hear from families every day who are getting hammered by rising costs. Inflation is a tax on every single one of us, and it is killing our economy. As Alabama's next senator, I'll fight to save our economy, not only for our seniors, but for the next generation who is being crushed by runaway inflation and destructive debt. Here's where I stand. If Congress doesn't balance the budget, they shouldn't get paid. No balanced budget, no paycheck.
Katie Britt will stop Joe Biden's tax and spend agenda and fight to restore President Trump's booming economy.
I'm Katie Britt, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Britt for Alabama, Inc.
Attention River Region, don't wait on one of those internet companies to hopefully call you back. You'll be disappointed even if they do. Just Blinds and Travel is here to make sure your home has the look and feel of the best American-made window treatments, including motorization and smart home options. Your guests will love them as much as you do. For over 35 years, Just Blinds has been the trusted local source for quality, beauty, and customer satisfaction, serving Lake Martin, Auburn, and the River Region.
So the dream was to build your very own law practice, be your own boss, call all the shots. But have things like billing, HR, timekeeping, and all the other management stuff turned your dream into a nightmare? Take charge of your practice with Lexicon. We're the intersection of practice management software and legal support services for your firm. You'll get more billable and livable hours back. Lexicon marks the spot for all your practice management needs. Visit lexiconservices.com/intersection to get the whole story or schedule a demo.
If you've ever ordered food for work, you understand. It's different. There's just so much more at stake. Whether it's a meeting, a client call, or lunch with the office that has to arrive at the actual lunchtime, food for work has to work. That's why there's Easy Cater. Food that's on time and as ordered from over 82,000 restaurants. And if there's a problem, rare, you can reach someone in seconds.
Thank you for calling Easy Cater.
Let me see.
Easy Cater just does.
Kimberly Baker,
24/7 at
Alexia
easycater.com.
Shepard, and Danielle George.
This is the Tom Hannity Show. Join me
That's what I call diversity.
at 2 right here on Radio 1440.
Oh, is that it? Well. You know, again, I have two radio stations I'm running against up here every day. You know, two of them, I got like Mix 103 over there and on the FM side. And I got sports guys, Longshore and them down the hall. But they always come down here to get pertinent opinion and information. Because, well, that's what I do. I give everybody what they need to hear. Okay, I'm just saying. Anyway, good morning to you. I actually want to think that yesterday we had, who did we have yesterday? We had Charlotte Meadows. But you know what gets me about politicians, and the local ones, and the national ones too? You know, nobody's really willing to go outside the box and in a sacrificial way to make a difference. I mean, everybody that goes on Goat Hill, everybody goes up there, they all follow the same plan. You ever notice that? And you ever notice that things don't really change? I want you to think about this for 1 second. I've been there 31 years. I've been there half my life has been spent in Montgomery, Alabama. Actually, a little bit, I got there 33. Yeah. Half my life has been spent here in Montgomery, Alabama. And for the most part, yeah, now it's been a pretty good ride. Now, I don't know, and I would imagine that any city, South Bend, Indiana, Chicago, Illinois, Seattle, which I used to live, Tacoma, whatever, Hawaii, same place, South Carolina, North Carolina, all the places I've lived, I would imagine that we got the same problem, okay? which is why the problems that we have don't seem to go anyplace because nobody's willing to do anything outside the. It's like you fight to get the job, then the rest of your career, should you get reelected a couple of times, you're fighting to get reelected and not necessarily fighting to take care of the needs of people. I mean, that's why nothing. I mean, how long have we heard about the situations in Macedonia, the situations in Newtown, the situations in the Black Belt? I've been here long enough now. The Black Belt should be turned white belt by now. Okay, and they still got the Black Belt. They still got the same problem. So nothing. So what is it going to take to put somebody in office that is willing to not worry about their next re-election, but actually getting something moving in the right direction for the people? And I tell you something. Now here's something I had not heard. I don't. Again, I don't know. I don't have any. I don't have any idea one way or the other. But I have not heard of the mayor running for re-election. Now he may be holding it. He may be holding it close to his heart. I don't know. Um, but now, for the most part, I think the mayor's done a decent job in Montgomery, considering what he had to do. We disagree philosophically on some things, but considering when he started, right at the beginning of a pandemic, I think he's done a pretty good job. To me, he just needs to be a little bit tougher. Now, if he wants to call him a little tougher, stop making excuses for people that don't do the right thing, such as these bums on the street. Yeah, I said bum because a lot of them are just bums. Okay, I'm just saying. Again, let's stop making excuses. And our school system, the mayor doesn't have anything to the school system. Can't blame him for that. Okay. Matter of fact, who do we blame for that? I don't know. But anyway, what we blame? It's been too many women in charge of our school system. I love women, love to death. That's the other half. But women are nurturers. Women want to hold your hand and hug you and pat you on the side of the head, tell you everything's going to be all right when it's not. If you cannot read, things won't be all right. Okay? People will take advantage of you. People will misuse you. They'll screw you over is what will happen. So, okay. So all things won't be all right. You've got to do something to make it all right. I'm just saying. I love women. Don't get me wrong. But some jobs are not, women shouldn't do. Okay? Shouldn't do. They should be teachers. But I don't know if they should be administrators. But that's just me. Because they're about loving you and all that. I don't want no love. I told the teacher one time, don't love my child. Let me do that. I love him. We love him. We get his mom and we love him. That's good. That's all the love he needs right now. What I need you to do is teach him. Because that's one thing I cannot do. But anyway, I teach them little things like how to make an omelet and something like that. But I can't really teach them calculus. I can't even spell calculus. Anyway, let me see who this is right quick. Good morning. Who's this? Yes. Good morning.
Can you hear me good?
I can hear you well.
Okay, I have Jackson on the line with me.
Mm-hmm.
We want to have a little dialogue with you for a few minutes.
All right.
Hey, Kevin, how are you this morning?
Fine.
I didn't get a chance to talk to you with your guest yesterday. Excuse me, I tried to call. Excuse me, because you were talking about the Cody man. Although the judge can say that they denied his bond, he should be in jail. If they denied your bond, they'd have handcuffed you right there. You'd have seen it on TV. You'd have seen it in the courtroom. They don't allow you to go out in the courtroom. They can take care of the deputy, take the state on the jail. But why would they let him go back home or go wherever? That don't work with the average Joe now. But young lady asked me, you know her, and then she said that then I get to what I called you for. So she asked one of the judges, said, why do you let Cody do it? Said, hey, she was a black judge, so she told this black lady, say, that's white man law. Okay? Now this is what you just said, a white man law. But you said a few minutes ago, you don't understand why these people been elected to the office and don't do their job or won't speak out about things. And you love to pick on the women, but your actual legislature You got the majority of men now have been there for years. The ones in Washington D.C. they majority of men.
True.
They hadn't done anything. They don't do their job.
True. True.
The one down at the city council, majority of men. They don't do their job. But me and Miss Jackson call you for another reason. And don't hang up on us. Don't get Miss Jackson. You can talk to them about what we were talking about the other day.
Kevin, we was talking about the legislation. They need to change the rules at HDOC. But have you got in touch with them so they would ever give me 10 minutes of their time where I can talk to them about some things that was going on in the prison system? Can you speak on that?
Yeah, those people act like they don't really work for us. I have never tried to reach a group of people and met so much resistance as the prison system. It's just, it's like they think they got their own legal system, their own rules, their own kingdom. Listen, it's an amazing thing to me. And the people who should be able to help us is like the one I had here yesterday, which is Charlotte Meadows, Tashima Norris, Kirk Hatcher, Kenyatta. These folks are the people that should be. Yeah, that's right, Patricia McClain. Yeah, yeah, Kelvin and Chris Sell.
That represent Montgomery County. We don't care if they're white or black, Republican or Democrat. We are their constituents. We didn't have to vote for them, but when we have a problem, once we contact them, they need to sit down and talk with us. Now, you had on the radio, I went to the doctor. I couldn't hear you. I tried to call you right before you said you weren't taking no call, but I had to go to the doctor. And when I come back, it was 15 after 9. You're right. I mean, what did they run for? I think I said it on Roscoe. I say, you tell us you want to get in to bring about changes. But once they don't even know
it's a bunch of deal making down there, and I tell you, what really infuriates me is that every time you ask one of our elected officials to look at something, they tell me what they cannot do.
What they doing down there?
I mean, I just.
It's taking our time. It's taking our space. Getting paid though.
Yeah. I mean,
we be as nice and courteous as we can with those people. And Miss Jackson, you met Miss Jackson. And most times she talks to them. And Miss Jackson, when you call down to the secretary, what did they tell you that they were gonna get with the two ladies? One of them is on the men's prison, and one is on the lady prison. They're gonna do what? That's about 3 weeks ago or longer.
April the 7th. I hadn't heard from them yet. And I just want to know what they're doing down there.
And they said, well, we're going to call y'all back and we're going to make an appointment. And I want your listeners to hear this black and white. This is the type of stuff that we went to. And the one that, Kevin, you having the same problem. And the people not involved, they need to just be quiet. They need to be quiet because you can't make no excuse for them. We put them in office to represent us. They make $50,000 plus. Some will say 60,000. I don't know. I don't care about how much money they make. But here are little poor people out here. And then Kevin just last week, about 4 or 5 of my people and Miss Jackson, I had on a 3 when we cut her off. I had about 5 or 6 people get swung out some money, about $7,000. So someone called and said they were one of the ladies there at DOC, and she could get them and move them to a work release and beat them folks out of money. One lady that owed them about $900, and a couple moved that, and a couple $200 or $300. And I got a couple whites. They called me the other day. She said, "Reverend Sec, you think we're gonna get our money back?" I said, "I hope so."
Well, the best thing, listen, and it seemed to me, and I know it's easier said than done, but the best thing we can do is stay the hell out of that system. Yeah, I know the end now, but we don't really have. Unfortunately, once you go to prison, people don't really care much about you.
Well, let me say this: when Representative the late Tom Reed and those older guys like Alvin Holmes, this didn't go on. See, this thing going, you could talk to Representative Summerlee, and I used to be with him. He was head of the NAACP. He could walk in any of those films and just walk on there and go back in the kitchen, look in the pots and things, because back in during that time, they would say they had rat tails and the peas and the beans and different stuff. And when Bob James Senior was in, and I was the NACP, he put a letter out in all the prison. He said, now, when he comes in this prison and want to see an inmate or somebody, y'all let him in there to see that inmate. Now, see, those real men, okay? You can't even get this woman that is in. Her commissioner won't even sit at all the commissioners from George Wallace up until this group here. We could go and talk to the commissioners. About 4 or 5 of them.
Well, I can't. Yeah, again, I can't. I can't fix that on the air here. All I can do is do.
We want your people to know because they much smaller than us. So maybe they can tell their representatives, which they supposed to be able to go and talk to Kay Ivey because.
Well, forget that. Forget that. I've been. Yeah, I gotta run. I appreciate it. I've been calling Kay Ivey's office for 4 years, and we're right down the street, so we can't get it to come down here. So now you just got to be in the right group of people, I guess, in order to get those folks to adhere to you. Gotta take a break. We'll be back right after this.
A rainy night in Georgia. A rainy night in Georgia. It seems like it's raining all over the world. I feel Radio 1440.
Sponsored by Blindster. Need new blinds
all over the world.
Custom-made blind shades and shutters shipped directly to you at prices less than big box retailers. Blindster blinds are easy to install and guaranteed to fit. And right now, save 40% off any order. Just use code radio. Check out Blindster.com.
A beautiful but cooler day on the way today. Temperatures will
rain
or so. Ample sun from start to finish. We'll go from the 40s this morning into the upper 60s this afternoon. For tonight, another cool one down into the 40s. So jacket weather again Wednesday morning, but Wednesday starts a warming trend. We'll have more clouds Wednesday, partly to mostly cloudy, mid-70s, but then the 80s return starting Thursday and carry through the weekend. And
it's a rainy night in Georgia.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. Right now, things are looking pretty good. Nothing's been reported by the authorities that would send you on an alternate route. Interstate system's moving smoothly. Keep listening. We'll keep you posted. It's all fun at Festival Plaza. Stop by Bougie Nails and Spa. Share experience. Bring your
It's a rainy night in Georgia.
JLL
Girl, I believe it's raining all over the world. Rain falling. Everybody get through.
We've got $100 bills stacked up for days. The 25K Workday Payday is your shot at $100 10 times every weekday. Listen for the national keyword hourly 8 to 5 for your chance to text in and win. Score the $100 and you're on your way to a 25K payday with News Radio 1440.
Hi, this is Tom Latham with Feeney Ernie Concrete Technologies. For years, you've heard me talking about our concrete projects, from stamped and patterned concrete to foundations to commercial manufacturing, driveways to commercial parking lots, even heavily invested in polished concrete for durable and inexpensive long-term service. What you may not know is we have equipment for clearing lots for construction, clearing and ridding land of scrub and underbrush. We cut roads, clear fence lines, clear pond dams, and pretty much any application where land is overgrown. We have mulchers that can grind underbrush into shreds and return it to nature for compost. Our equipment is minimally invasive, not disturbing and not turning your property where additional grading might be necessary. To clean or clear your property, call Penny Earned at 334-284-9292 and let us transform your overgrown property into a manageable and productive one. Check us out on Facebook at Transformers or call 334-284-9292.
Hi,
Hi, I hope you like this restaurant. Thanks for coming out with me.
So what do you do?
Oh, I'm an investing app.
Oh, wow. The one that lets people diversify their portfolios with fine art?
That's my cousin Masterworks.
Do you have their number?
Oh, come on, not again.
What? I just want to invest in an asset class that's more stable than my love life.
Learn more at masterworks.io and use promo code DATE.
Before deciding to invest, carefully review the important disclosures at masterworks.io/disclaimer.
Is your prostate waking you up more often than your alarm clock? The fact is, the older you get, the more likely you'll have prostate problems, which can affect your everyday life. That's where Prostate Complete by Real Health comes in. Prostate Complete is the result of 20 years of experience as a leader in men's health. The powerful formula in Prostate Complete supports natural prostate function and reduced urinary urges for a better quality of life. Available at Walmart. Visit prostate1perday.com for special offers. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or
Are
prevent.
you a patient who has been diagnosed with sleep apnea and are being treated with a Philips CPAP machine that has been recalled? There's another successful way to treat this problem, and that is with the oral sleep appliance. It is recommended by the American Academy of Sleep Medicine for anyone who cannot tolerate or use CPAP. It is covered by most medical insurances and is offered by Dr. Michael Irwin, a Montgomery orthodontist who has been successfully treating sleep apnea patients for the last 30 years. Left untreated, the serious medical associations of high blood pressure, heart attack, strokes, and cardiovascular disease will remain and will only result in a decrease of your quality of life and significant medical expense. Oral sleep appliances have been used successfully to treat thousands of patients across the United States. A short no-cost evaluation with Dr. Michael Irwin will help to enlighten you about the possibility of alternative treatment. Call his office today at 279-6910. That's 334-279.
You're pretty particular about keeping a healthy body, particularly when it comes to what you're putting in it and on it. That's why the Walgreens Health and Wellness brand has over 2,000 products. Rigorously tested, Walgreens pharmacist recommended. And for a limited time, select Walgreens brand health and wellness products are buy one, get one 50% off, which is particularly kind to your wallet. Walgreens. Offer valid through April 30th with My Walgreens. Restrictions apply. See details at walgreens.com/Walgreens brand.
Hey, hear me at my new time right here on the same great station. It's all happening every afternoon at 2, right here on News Radio 1440.
Okay, we're back. Ready to roll. 860-1440. I keep forgetting the number. I figure everybody just knows the number anyway. So I just 860-1440. Got something on your mind this morning? Hey, here's a question. It seems that the president the other day, day for one of the days, was lost again in space. He turned around and everybody's seen it. He was shaking hands, but wasn't nobody there. He's 79 years old. 79. Now, and Governor Ivey is 77. How old is too old to be in office? I honestly believe that 70 years old is old enough to run for office. I mean, now if you're 70 while you're running, that's cool. By the time you get out, you're 74. It's time to go to the house. But how old is too old? I think President Biden is way too old to be in office. I do. I think Kay Ivey's hitting it too. But if nobody, and here's the problem: do we want politicians in office and the highest seats of government that are able to be manipulated? I guess we do. I guess the parties do. Like I was telling Charlotte yesterday, all this ridiculous, and most voters don't know this. All this redistricting and all these things, it's got nothing to do because they care about you. It's nothing to do with you at all. It is about parties. It's got nothing to do. It is so each party can try to make sure they win. It's got nothing to do with a citizen. Nothing to do. Your concerns are not even in a minuscule, given a minuscule of thought when it comes to the parties and the district lines, whether they're congressional lines, whether they are city council lines, whether they are county commission lines. They got nothing to do with you as a citizen. Have you ever got a postcard in the mail asking you what you thought. No, you have not. Will you ever? No. That's why the only people that benefit from all these redistricting lines are the political parties, the Republican and the Democratic Party, not you. You don't benefit one iota. Nothing. And I dare anybody from the Republican Party or the Democratic Party to tell me, to prove to me that the citizens are at the forefront of thought when these things are drawn. You're not. You're not. These are for two private parties, Democrat and Republican. Okay, have nothing to do with you. But they'll fight on TV like, oh, they're concerned about me and they're concerned about you. They don't give a crap about you. Not the average voter, unless you happen to be a billionaire, who lives in one of them districts and you can cut them a check. But other than that, it's not about you. Never has been, never will be. Never will be. I just thought I'd let you know that. That's why nothing ever changes. So who is going to be the first politician that runs for office for us? Who's that going to be? Katie Britt? I don't think so. It's going to be Mike Durant? I don't know. It's going to be Mo Brooks? I don't know. Who's going to run for us? The lowly guy that's out here trying to make a living. Who's going to run for us? Has anybody ever said, I'm running for you? I don't think that's part of the advertisement campaign. I've never heard anybody say, I'm running for you. Elkins, I'm running for you. Okay? Now, I don't think, have anybody heard any politician say that? And I'm so sick and tired of hearing about Trump. Trump's my man. Okay, if he ran again, I would seriously consider voting for him again. But I'm tired of hearing about him. He's not in office. Okay, and I'm whether it's Durant or Britt or whoever it is, I'm sick and tired of hearing about Trump. Trump's not in office. Trump's in the same position I'm in, except he got more money to be in it. He don't have any power right now either, except he has influence. Influence is good. Influence kind of like power. But I'm tired of hearing that too. I don't want to hear about Trump. I want to hear who's running for me. Next month, there's an election. Next month. Okay. And talk about old people. Shelby should have been gone a long time ago. I mean, hey, he brought the bacon home. I got that part. But there does come a time when, come on, man, give somebody else a shot here. The new ideas. We need some energy up there, not a bunch of old men walking around patting themselves on the back, somebody trying to point them where the bathroom is. Okay, don't get me wrong. Old is good. I'm great. But you should be counseling people. You should be leading people. You should tell them where the bathroom is. Tell them where the bones are at. Give them some power. The folks who come up there. So I don't know. The senator race is an interesting thing. I don't really know. Don't even know if I'm going to vote for anybody, to tell you the truth. Now, if I lean a certain kind of way, I would lean with Durant only because he's a military man. Okay, served his country, and hey, I have all the respect in the world for that. Went in harm's way. I got it all. But again, he was doing his job. You don't get a pass. You don't get elected to public office for doing your job. Okay, you get elected for public office because we feel you're going to look out for us, the people who pay the bills. Katie Britt, she talks a good game, but I mean, she hasn't been up here, so I don't know much about her. Although her husband's kind of big, so I don't want to say too much about it because he might come down and whoop ass on me. But that's okay. I'm tough. I can take it. But she's been all over town, all over Alabama, but she hasn't been here. So I really don't know much about her. I think she's scared of a black man. I think that's what she is. I think she don't want to see her brother. That's all. I think that's what it is. Even though I'm like a brother almost on her side, but not quite. I'm not. So Miss Britt, somebody get the word to her. I know I'm black, but I'm cool. I'm cool. I'm not Democrat if you think that's what I am. not a Republican either, but I lean toward the Republican Party because that odious Democratic Party, even though I love some of the people in it, I can't associate myself with anybody who thinks it's okay to kill your children. And that's my biggest thing. Anybody who thinks that it's a woman's choice to kill your children. Well, that's what these thugs think out here, that it's their choice to kill the guy they're fighting with. You know, they think the same thing. Well, he did something I don't like, so let me go kill him. We got enough of that in Montgomery. Okay, so I'm looking at abortion the same way. So you think that people have a right to kill their children? Well, no wonder the young kids growing up, they're killing everybody. They see us doing it before the child even gets out of the womb. So they might as well do it too. They call it a late-term abortion. I guess that's what they call it. You know, even though you're 16, 17, 18, 19 years old, 20 years old. You know, I don't quite understand that. So, and don't get me wrong. Republicans have had abortions too. Only thing I respect about the Republicans, they're not going around bragging, telling everybody to do it. Okay? At the end of the day, it's a personal decision between two people, but they're not going around promoting it. Like it's a litmus test. In order for you to get in public office as a Democrat, you have to get on the bandwagon with this abortion thing. You just gotta. You can't be a judge without being an abortion. You can't. And this trend. I thought now we're gonna have another. There's another lawsuit being filed against the governor and other people for transgender. There's a place in Montgomery, one of the schools in Montgomery, where parents took their child to California and had a sex change. 7, 8 years old. Bring the child back, put him in school, and change his name. Now he got a girl name. I mean, that is something. This transgender thing is taking us way outside the realm of common sense. Okay, I don't know why that's the hill that a lot of people, wackos, want to die on. Changing their child. They must think they are God. God made two sexes, male and female, him and she, not shim and thee. Okay, I'm just telling you. And this transsexual thing, first of all, there's no such thing as a transgender. You are what you are by your chromosomal makeup. You cannot change it. It will never be changed. 2,000 years from now, when they find your bones in the dirt, somebody's going to say, oh, yeah, that was a guy and that was a girl. You cannot change the way we are made, okay? Good Lord knew what he was doing. So I don't know why it is a lot of people want to die on that hill, abusing their children. You know, I'm telling you how stupid this is. If I had a boy dog and I took my boy dog to the wherever those doctors are that deal with animals, and I said, I want to make Charlie here, I want to make him Charlene. The guy in the veterinarian, whatever they call him, the animal doctor would look at me like I'm crazy as hell, which he ought to. We would think twice about doing that to a dog, but we won't think twice. A lot of folks won't think twice about doing it to a human being, a young child. I don't know why this indoctrination of him and she and he, I don't know why this all of a sudden has proliferated into something that is almost uncontrollable now. Okay? I don't know. Something's wrong with us. Good morning. Who's this? Okay. And I'm going to ban you, really. One of these days, I'm just going to dump you. Anyway, 860-1440 is the number you want to give us a call. I mean, these are the things that are changing our culture. These are the things that are changing. Yeah. There was great news. Great news. I'm reading yesterday. There's a great news. There was a college professor who won $400,000. I forgot exactly which college it was. He won $400,000 from a university because they told him that he had to address a guy as a girl because That's what he wanted him to do. And so they made him. He said, oh, the hell with that. Okay, this is a guy. And just because he thinks he's a girl doesn't make him so. So congratulations. We'll take one battle at a time. But he won $400,000 because he wasn't going to call the guy the pronoun that he wanted to be called. He called him when he was born. Good morning. Who's this? Yes, non-immigrant. What's up? I'm doing all right, I guess.
All these rights, all these civil rights. Let's look at the origin of civil rights when it comes to people of color, black people. When they finally came up with the civil rights for black, since then, excuse my expression, there may be 5 or 6 things attached to it now. Even that stuff you were just talking about. Civil rights for blacks initially, it never happened. Because the white man came back and say reverse discrimination. Now they've added women's rights, gay rights. Now you're saying transgender. But what about the original civil rights of the black people?
I agree with you. I agree with you. I think they took the umbrella and covered every wacko group that there is and pretty much diluted what it originally meant to convey rights of any citizen on black folks too. But hey, we've let it happen. We let it happen.
Because I'm telling you, this is why we're caught up in all these crazy narratives with the shootings and all this other craziness. Because I don't know what the plan was and why they did what they did and went the other way by not giving the blacks the civil rights that the law requires. Now so many attachments to it. I was just reading an article the other day. In a couple of years, the blacks are second in line. They're going to drop down the.
Oh, we are.
We're going to have to ask. We're going to have to ask the Spanish people before we can even speak to the white folks. We're going backwards.
We are. Yeah, that's right.
And as I listen to you, this is what came to mind, and I just want to put that out.
All right.
It was a mess right
now. It is a mess right now, but we're sitting around letting it happen. We're more concerned about sexuality than we are the rights of citizens in this country. We spend an inordinate amount of time talking about this transgender stuff because they are trying to convince us what our brain knows, what nature knows, that it's not true. And listen, if they can convince us that you can actually become a girl because you want to put a fork in us, we are done. Nothing else matters.
Yeah, but and I want to just add to that though. We gotta also be careful for the ones that speaking. I hear people speaking, but I won't forget when I was living up in Baltimore, there was some congressmen up there in Washington had a code in the bathroom where they tapping on the men's stalls.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Now I wonder what part it was made. You see a lot of them still in the closet.
Yeah. As long as they're still in the closet, I don't care. They can be what they want to be. Yeah. All right. Appreciate it. Listen, as long as they stay in the closet, I'm good with you. I'm good with you. I don't. I mean, you do you, I do me. You just can't do me. That's what I'm saying. One more call. I take my last break, an hour, and but we need that. Something needs to change. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes.
Hey, if you look back, all this transgender stuff became popular after gay marriage became legal. It's like, okay, we won that little battle. Now we need to go further. And the more you give in, the more they take.
That's right.
It's never going to stop. And now it's not enough to accept them. They want to teach this in kindergarten.
Oh.
So it's the slippery slope argument. Okay, if you accept absurdity,
the absurdity will only grow worse.
And that's what's happening in this country right now. And if the American people don't watch out, we're going to wake up one morning and it would have been better to have been taken over by the Russians than it would be what's taken over our country now.
The 1% has all the power over the rest of the country, over the majority. We are giving in to the 1%.
Yes, we are. Well, we better fight. We better fight if we want to keep it. Appreciate it. But because if we don't, it'll be the late. There's a book called The Late Great United States, and it seems that we're fulfilling the prophecy in that book. We'll be back.
This report is sponsored by Window World.
You go back,
Increase
Jack.
home value and decrease energy bills with windows, siding, doors, and more from your locally owned Window World. All products made in the USA with convenient financing options and the industry's strongest lifetime limited warranty. Search Window World River Region today.
A beautiful but cooler day on the way today. Temperatures below average for this time of year by about 10 degrees or so. Ample sun from start to finish. We'll go from the 40s this morning into the upper 60s this afternoon. For tonight, another cool one down into the 40s. So jacket weather again Wednesday morning, but Wednesday starts a warming trend. We'll have more clouds Wednesday, partly to mostly cloudy, mid-70s, but then the 80s return starting Thursday and carry through the weekend and early next week.
That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. We've got several new accidents in Prattville Cobbs Ford Road in front of the Hampton Inn. We've got 4 cars involved in an accident there. Also, North Memorial Drive at Fairview Avenue, we've got a 3-car collision, lots of injuries and road blockage. All of Fairview Avenue is completely blocked, so please be careful. 85 South at Taylor, an accident's been reported there, and Taylor Road at Park Crossing. So be careful in all those areas. Enjoy your favorite movies at the AMC Festival Plaza Theater, plus great shopping. It's all at Festival Plaza, Taylor and Vaughn, a JLL managed development. Buckle up, it's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch traffic, this is Major Delay.
When it comes to tires, bald ain't so beautiful. It's time for a tire makeover at Chico's Auto Pros. Better price, better experience, guaranteed. 239-9510.
Matt Parsley, Budget Car and Truck Sales, Montgomery and Prattville. I just got back from my doctor's office, and he told me I need to turn down the stress a notch or two, and that's got me in a real pickle. So, to relieve the stress, I'm going to make it possible for people to buy with just a nickel. Most dealers require $1,000, $2,000, or even $5,000 down. At Budget Car and Truck Sales, you can drive a like-new car, truck, van, or sport utility with just a nickel down. Stress-free. Are credit problems in the past keeping you stressed out? My credit approval process will take the stress away. Owe too much on your trade? We'll pay you up to $4,055 for any trade, stress-free. If gas prices are stressing you out, the Nickel Pickle Sale will help you out, stress-free. We are the People's Car Dealers. Budget Car and Truck Sales, 61 Mendale Parkway, next to Fraser Church, or in Prattville, 508 McQueen Smith Road, across from Walmart. Visit us online at buybudgetonline.com.
Your local radio stations are here for you. No subscriptions or monthly fees necessary. We're here to give you the news, weather, and traffic you need, and the music you love. But if the foreign-owned record labels get their way, it could stop the music. They want Congress to force radio stations to pay them more money, simply to play their music. Don't let radio go silent. Text LOCAL to 52886 and tell Congress to protect local radio stations. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Hi, this is Tom Latham with Penny Earning Concrete Technologies. For years, you've heard me talking about our concrete projects, from stamped and patterned concrete to foundations to commercial manufacturing, driveways to commercial parking lots, even heavily invested in polished concrete for durable and inexpensive long-term service. What you may not know is we have equipment for clearing lots for construction, clearing and ridding land of scrub and underbrush. We cut roads, clear fence lines, clear pond dams, and pretty much any application where land is overgrown. We have mulchers that can grind underbrush into shreds and return it to nature for compost. post. Our equipment is minimally invasive, not disturbing and upturning your property where additional grading might be necessary. To clean or clear your property, call Penny Earned at 334-284-9292 and let us transform your overgrown property into a manageable and productive one. Check us out on Facebook at Transformers or call 334-284-9292.
Maybe you just really want it. Maybe you could really use it. Either way, you have to have it. And what if you could get whatever it is at a major discount? Items like a full-year tuition to River Region Academy, a Boundary Plus Invisible Fence, and a hog hunt for two from Great Southern Outdoors are up for grabs. You join us for our sweet bid auction. Some things you may need, and some you will most definitely want, all at great prices. April 21st to April 28th. Log on to this station's website and place your bid.
It's Dan Bongino every Monday from 2
in the morning.
till 5 p.m. right here on News Radio 1440. Depend on it.
It is 10 minutes to the hour of 8 o'clock here in the great city of Montgomery. Somebody sent me a text there. Which is a greater threat to society, single parenthood or gay marriage? Well, I think that's pretty obvious. One leads to probably too many kids without fathers, but one leads to no kids. So, hey, I don't know. Anyway, 860-1440 number here. Good morning. Thanks for holding. Good morning.
Once upon a time in America, Jack went up the hill with a pail of water. Now Jack comes back down his hill.
That's true. That's true.
The caller previously was talking about the civil rights, what the civil rights was. When he said, boy, he's exactly right. And it's called mission drift.
Yes.
You start drifting off the original mission. But if you got one group, people got the illegal immigrants. They've got more rights than we do. They don't have to get vaccinated. They don't have to get shots when they come across the border. Once upon a time in America, we had a catch and release program under a previous president where we would catch and release them across the border. Now under the big fella, we got a catch and release program in the United States.
Yeah. Do you believe that Americans will ever get tired of this and try to take back their country? And I think that's what happened January 6th. I think people are just getting tired of getting ringed by the government. And, they can't have that. They can't have the people who pay all the bills around here get upset at it. So I think that's what January 6th was all about.
Well, we got a vice president that is more, he put her in charge of controlling the border down there, and she won't even go down there. The only time she went down there is because the orange man threatened to go down there first. But she's more worried about her picture on the cover of a magazine because she had tennis shoes on, rather than going down there and taking control of that chaotic situation down there. And I just wish the governor of Texas take one of those bus loads.
I wish you would too. I wish you would too.
Send them to Washington and drop them right over there in front of
right at the fence, right at the fence around the Capitol that there to keep people out.
And take them to all these folks that are so concerned that won't go down there and help and do anything about it. Take them to their neighborhoods and drop them off.
Yeah.
And see how much they like it.
Yeah, I think they'll take them to Massachusetts. But that's just me.
They've got more rights than we do. I mean, you gotta wear a mask on a plane. You gotta take shots or they'll fire you from your job. They can walk right in the door and set up shop, and they don't have to do anything.
Yeah, and that's what January 6th was all about. But I don't believe that anybody there has articulated that yet. It is about giving people who are not supposed to be here more rights than the people that were born here. That letting people, leaving our borders wide open, let everybody come in. Although somebody did make a good point the other day, we ain't letting Africans come in like that. But I ain't mad at that. I don't want to see them either. But if you're going,
Yeah, I mean, everybody ought to be treated the same.
Yeah.
If you're gonna let one group in,
Yeah.
unchecked, uncontrolled, then you need to let that group.
Yeah, I do. I agree. Hey, you too. It is 6 minutes to the hour. Good morning. Who's this?
Good morning, Mr. Elder.
Yes.
You know one time black folks used to turn to the market that night and go tear.
Well, that's what some people would say.
Yeah, that's okay. That's what they put out. But then when you start talking about this, everybody keeps talking about this critical race theory and some of this stuff that's going on in these schools. It's not in them books. It's those teachers that write them problems and send them at home at homework. And let me give you one example. This is an algebra problem. It says y equals x plus 2, 3x plus 6, 3x plus 6y 12. Then they give you a word problem. Had to do what we're talking about. Mine had to do with sexual abuse by her mother, blank at age 8, which shaped her career choices and motivation for writing. Then if the correct answer give you the number, and then it say boyfriend. These teachers that in these school systems are writing these problems, and then they say there's critical race theory. It's not in them math books that they can't find. And now let me give you one more. This comes back to black folks. Tried to support her son, a single mother. She worked as a pimp, prostitute, and what? And the answer comes back to a nightclub dancer.
That's what's that in?
This is an algebra. It's an algebra class, and a teacher gave homework in the jury, and they claimed this is critical race theory.
Okay.
That's where this stuff coming from. That these teachers are writing their own problems.
They're coming up with their own curriculum.
Right, but then homework that goes home. The teacher always gave you homework with the problem they called it to come up with.
Yeah, I never had one there. I never had one there. I don't ever remember any kind of question like that. Okay. All right. I'm gonna have to cogitate on that one, preacher. I'm gonna have to cogitate on that one. So that's algebra, huh? Anyway, wow. One more thing before we get off the edge. I went to. I just gotta give a shout out to a local business. It's called Food Outlet on Coliseum Boulevard. A week and a half ago, I went to Food Outlet, and I dropped $40. Now I knew I dropped it someplace, but I couldn't. It was cash. It was two $20 bills fell on the ground, and so I just wrote it off. Okay, I lost. I wrote it off, and I just kept on going up there. Well, a week later, I went back to Food Outlet, and they said, "I know you," and they gave me the $20, the $40 that I dropped on the ground, because evidently a customer had found it and took it up front. Now, I don't know how many stores in town that would have happened at, but first of all, I asked them, well, how do you know the money belonged to me? Well, what they did was they went to the security cameras, saw me drop the money, and put it in an envelope. Well, first of all, let me thank whoever that was who gave that money back to them. And they went and they didn't have to do that. They didn't have to go and find out who dropped the money, but they did. And so I went back in there and got my money. They gave it back to them. First of all, let me give a hearty thank you though. Those are the kind of people that restore my faith in humanity sometimes. Because first time I ever went to a grocery store, it came out with more money than I did when I went in. Anyway, I want to thank those guys on Coliseum Boulevard Food Outlet for returning that cash to a brother. We'll be back.
Good morning, I'm Joey. This here's what's happening. A federal judge in Florida struck down a national mask mandate for public transportation. Last week, the Biden administration and CDC extended the mask mandate to protect against COVID-19 through May 3rd. The judge said the CDC exceeded its authority, failed to justify the decision, and didn't follow proper rulemaking. This is for people traveling in planes and public transportation. Montgomery County District Attorney Dale Bailey has officially filed a motion to have Aaron Cody Smith's bond appeal revoked. Former Montgomery police officer killed Gregory Dunn while on patrol in 2016. He was convicted of manslaughter. On Friday, state courts denied Smith's petition to remain out of prison while his appeal is before the state Supreme Court. Before we make that bowl of cereal this morning, listen up. The reports that Lucky Charms are making people sick. Hundreds of consumers reported nausea, vomiting, and stomach pain after eating the cereal. There hasn't been a recall issued yet, but General Mills is investigating. That's your news on this Tuesday.
News Radio 1440, WLWI AM, the home of the Dan Bongino Show. Also on 95.1 HD.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Masks are out on airplanes and mass transit a day after a federal judge in Florida struck down a CDC mandate that had extended it into early May in response to a spike in COVID cases. First to commuters on the ground, WBBM TV's Marissa Parra is at Union Station in Chicago.
The CTA that applies to both buses and trains, as well as Metro. Well, both of them have released statements saying that for now, those masks will remain required. Uber and Amtrak say you're no longer required to wear the masks.
WTOP's Neil Augenstein checked in with airline passengers.
Here at Dulles Airport this morning, this family is traveling to California. Mom and dad are not wearing masks. Their teenage daughter is wearing one.
I think since we're vaccinated and boosted that we'll be in fine shape.
Masks just don't really annoy me, so I feel like I might as well take the extra precautions because I really don't want to get sick.
This traveler is boosted and says he is choosing to wear a mask.
Especially with airplanes being such a confined space, but I guess if legally we can't enforce it now, I guess people have that freedom.
People in the Northeast woke up to spring snow. The Weather Channel's Jim Cantori.
Some of these areas that have gotten the big amounts, we're going to top out at about 18 before all is said and done. More to come today. Snow showers all the way down through West Virginia before things begin to pull out and we get back to where we should be tomorrow.
In eastern Ukraine, the governor of Kharkiv reports at least 3 people were killed in a new round of Russian shelling. CBS's Chris Livesay.
Nowhere is the terror more total than Mariupol. Die-hard defenders holed up in a steel mill refuse to give up, despite Russia's ultimatum, surrender or die.
Prices at the pump in this country may have some people thinking about an EV. CBS News Director of Surveys, Jennifer DePinto.
Kurt Russell.
Okay, Jennifer DePinto. And let's go to Teacher of the Year then. 2022's national winner. From CBS Morning's Gail King, she has the exclusive reveal.
Kurt Russell! Hey! He's a history teacher at Oberlin High School, and we're glad to tell you that Mr. Russell's known for emphasizing cultural relevance and representation through classes like race, gender, and oppression.
Kurt Russell in Colorado.
The one thing that I really would like to stress receiving this award is to make sure that students receive a well-rounded, diverse education.
S&P futures are down too. Dow futures unchanged. This is CBS News.
There's always something new under the sun. CBS Mornings, weekdays on CBS.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you too. Using cutting-edge approaches, Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results, where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. That's 800-401-6681.
An effort to have a controversial congresswoman removed can proceed.
A federal judge has ruled a group of Georgia voters can move forward with legal efforts to disqualify U.S. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene from running for re-election, citing her role in the January 6, 2021 attack on the Capitol. The move is based on a constitutional provision adopted after the Civil War that barred members of the Confederacy from holding office. Jim Crisula, CBS News.
The Wall Street Journal is reporting desperate Afghans are increasingly resorting to selling their kidneys to pay for food and medicine. The paper says one family took their 15-year-old son to a hospital but didn't tell him why. Doctors placed the child under anesthesia and removed his organ. The price they sold it for, $4,500, was just enough to cover the amount they borrowed to pay their expenses. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Big money. The 25K Workday Payday. It's all about money. It's your national keyword to win $100. Text SILVER, SILVER, SILVER to 95819. Standard messaging rates apply. Don't text and drive. We'll text back to confirm your entry. If you win, you'll be entered to win a grand prize of $25,000. It's the 25K Workday Payday on News Radio 1440. Springtime. And time to get out and get things done. So it's Ram Truck Month at Dallas and Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Take advantage of low finance rates to save big on your new Ram truck or your new high-performance Dodge Charger or Dodge Challenger during Ram Truck Month. Plus, your trade-in has never been worth more. They give you the most for your trade-in. The best vehicles are always at DallasAutomotive.com, where you drive a little, save a lot.
Drive a little, save a lot.
Maybe you just really want it.
Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing?
Either way, you have to have it.
People are robbing stores again.
Whatever it is, at a major discount. Items like a full-year tuition to River Region Academy, a Boundary Plus Invisible Fence, and a hog hunt for two from Great Southern Outdoors are up for grabs. You join us for our Sweet Bids auction. Some things you may need, and some you will most definitely want, all at great prices. April 21st to April 28th. Log on to this station's website and place your bid.
Matt Parsley, Budget Car and Truck Sales, Montgomery and Prattville. I just got back from my doctor's office, and he told me I need to turn down the stress a notch or two, and that's got me in a real pickle. So, to relieve the stress, I'm going to make it possible for people to buy with just a nickel. Most dealers require $1,000, $2,000, or even $5,000. At Budget Car and Truck Sales, you can drive a like-new car, truck, van, or sport utility with just a nickel down, stress-free.
You do, guys. Where's the city council thing today, anyway?
We'll take the stress away.
I know we got a city council meeting.
We'll pay you up to $4,055 for any trade.
Millions did not make
if
it.
Gas prices are stressing you out, the Nickel Pickle Sale will help you out. Stress-free. We are the people's car dealer. Budget Car and Truck Sale, 61 Mendel Parkway, next to Fraser Church, or in Prattville, 508 McQueen Smith Road, across from Walmart. Visit us online at buybudgetonline.com.
Hi, I hope you like this restaurant. Thanks for coming out with me.
So what do you do?
Oh, I'm an investing app.
Oh, wow. The one that lets people diversify their portfolios with fine art?
That's my cousin, Masterworks.
Do you have their number?
Oh, come on, not again.
What? I just want to invest in an asset class that's more stable than my love life.
Learn more at masterworks.io and use promo code DATE.
Before deciding to invest, carefully review the important disclosures at masterworks.io/disclaimer.
Is your prostate waking you up more often than your alarm clock? The fact is, the older you get, the more likely you'll have prostate problems, which can affect your everyday life. That's where Prostate Complete by Real Health comes in. Prostate Complete is the result of 20 years of experience as a leader in men's health. The powerful formula in Prostate Complete supports natural prostate function and reduced urinary urges for a better quality of life. Available at Walmart. Visit prostateoneperday.com for special offers. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
He's the voice of the conservative millennial. Ben Shapiro. The Ben Shapiro Show, tonight at 8 p.m. on News Radio 1440. Depend on it.
Okay. Okay.
Everybody needs a little time away. I've heard it say from each other.
And good morning. How's everybody doing this morning? Hope today finds you well, finds you feeling pretty good. We're talking about actually having some substantive conversation today at least somewhat. And maybe we ought to have those kind of conversations more often. But again, we were wondering about our, we got election next month, an election. Again, another election really won't mean anything, you and I. But maybe we ought to get more involved in it. And how old is too old to run for office? K. 77. What's the name? It'll be 80 this year sometime, I believe. There comes a point where now, somebody sent me a text. Well, once you hit 65, you shouldn't run for office. Okay, I'm almost with you there, but I'll take up to 70 because my mind is still pretty clear, still pretty sharp. Now I think but I will say this much: I think you should take a mental acuity test when you hit your 60 years. If you're going to run for public office, well, if you're going to be involved in any job that where you're responsible for the life and limb of other human beings, like driving a bus or anything like that, I think maybe we might need to, take a mental acuity test. Okay, like the president does. I think he really needs to take one. I do. Yes, he's sitting there trying to shake hands. Wasn't nobody there but him. I just think, I never in my life that I think would ever put anybody in the White House with those kind of mental issues. But hey, y'all did it. 860-1440 is the number here. Good morning. Who's this? Okay, let me put that down. Good morning. Who's this? Good morning, Kevin. Yes. How you doing? I'm doing fine. The old brain's got the mental acuity. Yes. Hey, you brought up the black belt while ago compared to the white belt. I said, by all this time, as long as they've been promising thing, it ought to be. It could be the white belt by now. Why do they call it the black belt? I guess it's because it's the soil, from what I understand, that's down there. Well, you got that one. So your acuity is good. Hey, is Steve called here? Steve, have you counted the number of black mass shootings this last weekend? Well, now mass shootings when you have 4 or more people, right, shot, according to the FBI. Well, I know we had a few in the nation. I know that, but what's color got? I mean, you see where in South Carolina the black judge, the guy shot 9 people, and she let him out with $25,000 bond and an ankle bracelet. Really? I didn't see. I missed that one. She must be. Well, he must be a Democrat then. Yeah. Yeah, she must be a Democrat. That's all I can think of. Yeah, must be a Democrat. Yeah. Yeah. Where's the Southern Law Poverty Center? I mean, where is that? Well, they don't do much unless they're making $1 out of it. Well, they're in their mansion in California. Right. Yeah. Why don't they come in and get these people who have to eat rat tails? I don't know. I can't tell. I tried to get them on the show before, but they don't show up. Yeah. So. Well, I know the ones the Black Lives Matter folks, they're buying mansions right now. That's what that says for buy large mansions. Well, they got to live someplace. Yeah, they do. Yeah. When are we going to ever get that stuff around the fountain, that graffiti removed? The mayor did absolutely lied about that thing when he put it down there. So that was water-soluble paint would wash away. Well, yeah. The first lie he told us, so is it? Well, we. I know you stand up for him. Well, I didn't stand up for him, but again, we've been lied to. We've been lied to by other people, Well, no, I wanted to do this. No, I don't. Well, my checking account ain't. Yeah. Well, I want to be fair to the man, but we disagree. What Lincoln? Okay, well, I don't know. That's above. Well, that's above my pay grade. No, that wasn't. That was a Tahoe. Looks like a Tahoe. That was a Tahoe. He bought because he bought 2 because he thought he was at risk of being assassinated Yeah. Right. But I mean, well, no, I've never ridden in one. I mean, but I don't have any. Well, I do got him on my speed dial, but I don't, I mean, I don't take advantage of that, because he is the mayor. Yeah. Well, yeah. Murders in America up by everybody. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah. No. But if you want one of the ones that got murdered, I mean, that's 100%. So, I mean, About what? Yeah, we had that talk. Well, my son don't like hanging out with anybody right now, so he's 15, so he doesn't hang out. Yeah, just hang out with me. Then he gets tired of me at times, but that's the way it goes. All right. Sometimes it do. You the show that I heard of brother's feelings. Good morning. Who's this? Yeah. we go. I had to hurt my feelings on that one. But okay. Yeah, I guess. Whew. Yeah, well, All right. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. We live in a different world now. Good morning at 8:16 in the morning. Yes. I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Tell Grandpa we have one guy there around that conference and he have a heart attack and leave out of here.
Okay, well.
That's all he worried about. See how the guy that's trying to take that oxygen block where he can stand up black oak and sell them all.
Yeah. Although I will admit, I don't think we should have painted it. I don't. Well, that's true too. But now they haven't done it in the 2000s. Yeah. That's true. But there's a heap of things that there's a heap of things that we all have done. But there are a heap of things we all have done. We don't want to be reminded of it every day. Mm. But if somebody else, another social group, wanted to paint that fountain in their own ideology, their thoughts, we would have said no. Yeah, well, I ain't too much. I ain't hot on that one either. I mean, yeah. Yeah. Well, all right. Okay. Well, I appreciate it. 860-1440 is your number here. If you want to give us a call, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes. I thought they putting those. Yeah, I thought they were putting those. I thought they was putting those things in the museums now. Well, he did. He used to live there, didn't he? It don't bother me. Now that's the state issue, not a city. I don't know. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But that isn't celebrating Black history, is it? Mm-hmm. Well, we can. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think we are getting along. You know, I think again. Well, there are a lot of great things going on in Montgomery. Well, that's what y'all. Listen. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Everybody's entitled. Yeah, everybody's entitled to their opinion. You know. Good morning.
Good morning to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Mr. Simon Kevin Radio.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say this. I want to also say this. A lot of people might want to join in. This morning I read the 23rd Psalm. Kevin, if you've been by my house, you know it's on the outside of my house.
You got a lot of things on the outside of your house.
Oh, yes, I love the Lord. Love the best word, and I ain't through yet.
Okay.
Okay, but I want to ask people, read the 23rd Psalm. Please, just read it. And I love everybody. Thank you. And love women, Army Corps. Yeah.
Okay. Women's Army Corps. Also, it seems that we got some more diversity. We got diversity in robbing now. In Montgomery, there's another white guy that has robbed, went in there holding the gun sideways. He all on film, holding the gun sideways, robbing the store. These young folks better stop watching so many movies, okay? But anyway, he's lucky to be alive because when he turned around, that guy should have popped him once. Yeah. But anyway, he is robbing the store. Okay, so we got some diversity. It wasn't a black guy this time; it was a white guy. So at least we get some diversity there. Okay, I'm just saying. I love diversity. See, the chief of police was at a murder yesterday. Dale Abbott on the scene at a double shooting yesterday. They claimed the life of one and critically injured another. Again, I'm just trying to figure out the Office of Violence Prevention. Is that doing any good? Like I said, it wouldn't do any good. It's just not going to do any good. I mean, just not. If MPD can't get it done, then OVP is not going to get it done. It's not going to get. I mean, we personally. I mean, again, this is my. We just created some jobs for people because they're not going to do anything. And the people that will come to their meetings are not the people that are out there doing the violence. I think we just need to bring back the jackboot wagon. Okay, I think we need to bring that back. Whatever that thing was. Now the mayor doesn't like it. He doesn't like it. He don't like us running around, chasing the brother through the hood. Yeah, but I wouldn't mind. I'd video it. I don't mind them chasing the brother through the hood because sometimes you need to be chased. But we can't do that. So what are we going to do that's different? Seriously, what are we going to do that is going to make a difference on violence, education? What are we actually going to do except pay lip service to it? All this lip service don't do jack unless we put a something in motion that's concrete. Okay, like our new chief, all they can do is stand up there like the old chief could. Well, another one got shot. So what's he gonna do? What can he do? I don't know. Maybe something. We need to bring back that ride wagon, whatever that thing was. Good morning.
Jump Street.
Yeah, Jump Street. That's what we need to bring back.
Kevin, it's funny. Last night I went into a convenience store not too far from where I stay, and I noticed in the parking lot there was a lot of out-of-town tags and diversity, as you've been calling it this morning.
Mm-hmm.
And I was almost afraid to go in there because these guys look tough. And then I got to thinking, I said, well, you know what? This is on Waresbury Road. That's a straight shot to that other casino. And a lot of people are losing money, and They're angry. It's ain't safe in Montgomery anymore.
You know, I didn't think about it.
I hear very few things.
Yeah.
And I do carry.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody, you need to be careful. When you're going in and out, you know, people are closing early. They're shooting up strip centers, everything. I mean, we don't ever want to put any blame on those casinos. But that's not why I call. I call because, again, you were talking about what has happened to us. Do you remember Percy Julian? Did you see that documentary on him? The gentleman from Montgomery that actually developed steroids and a lot of things he used and take for granted. Well, you know, one of the companies that he tried to prevent him from doing that was FinTech. And FinTech, if you roll the clock forward, they did a bunch of stuff. One thing that brings to mind is they brought hard contact lenses out of the closet and started producing the polymers that we made them out of. They didn't go into the manufacturing of it because at the time, you could actually lathe them yourself in your office. You know what that means. But anyway, they also developed artificial estrogen, the pill. And this is where the downfall of our society started. When women were liberated and could have sex and not worry about getting pregnant. And boy, it has manifested into what you see out here. Now, John Calhoun in the Calhoun study, I mention it all the time. If you guys with your Google and all this, you need to look it up. And he talks about dystopia and what happens when you get into a situation like we're in now. And if you look at it, it's a mirror of what's going on in American society and world over. And part of the reason is because, you know, so many of us, we are so close together. As you look at Asia Minor, East Asia, Turkey, all of those countries, you know, if you take the extreme, say Korea, Mongolia, and you go all the way into Burma, they all have Asian features. But we're all living and we're all so close together. And these tribes, what you're seeing in the Ukraine right now is nothing more than tribal warfare. And it's been going on forever. America's sort of immune to it. And we have to be careful who we elect as president. Like you were saying, these parties are strictly out for themselves and special interests. Because we could elect somebody that could create that crap here if we're not careful. And that's my contribution for today.
All righty then. Good to have good contributions for the day. I appreciate that. Wow. All right then. Well, let's take a break, and we'll be back. Oh, one more thing. The city council. You know, there's a big phenomenon that's going on in the city of Montgomery right now, and I haven't quite figured out what these things are. The city council was supposed to come up with some sort of resolution or something, but these event centers. What is an event center? Because every time I look at the city council meeting, somebody's opening one. Do we have that many events in Montgomery that we need all these event centers? I ain't mad at them. I mean, that's fine. But, well, why don't we call them what they really are? I ain't mad. I'm just saying, you know, event center. So my understanding, they had an ad hoc committee that was going to deal with this. I know Calhoun and Pruitt and all these guys. But well, what is it? Is that another name for a club? Today, I don't know. Ain't figured that out yet, but okay. But everybody's opening them up. Okay, we'll be back. Of course, now you know if you're going to be an entrepreneur, then I guess that's what you need to do. But I don't know what an event. I guess it's a place where you have events. I guess I don't know. My son came to me the other day, telling me, "You want to open up an event center?" I said, "Let me cogitate on that for a minute. We'll be back."
Brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Sponsored by Audible. This spring, let Audible bring a smile with comedy, sci-fi, thrillers, or whatever you love listening to. From audiobooks to exclusive originals to podcasts. Find it all on Audible. Sign up and start free at audible.com.
Good morning, Montgomery, and we've got a long list of accidents, so please use caution. South Jackson at Adams, 1200 block of Prince George, 85 southbound just past Taylor Road. There's an accident with injury. Also in Prattville, Fairview Avenue southbound lane is now open. That was an accident earlier. Fairview Avenue at North Memorial Drive. Also 4100 block of Young Farm. Reinhardt Prattville has a great selection of vehicles, great people, and great buys. See Jamie, Audrey, or Hank for all makes and models at Reinhardt Prattville. Buckle up, it's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, this is Major Delay.
When it comes to tires, bald ain't so beautiful. It's time for a tire makeover at Chico's Auto Pros. Better price, better experience, guaranteed. 239-9510.
Waking up on the right side. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
These same politicians that are all gung-ho, they want to start a war. They won't fight the war to win the war. They're afraid of angering Putin. And just like they wouldn't support a no-fly zone for the very same reasons, now we're involved in a shooting war with Vladimir Putin. And does that then, become the impetus for World War III? No, Zelensky's been very clear, is that if you provide them the weaponry, the Ukrainian people will fight this battle themselves, and they've shown that they can win. If we're going to provide them anything, we can provide them training, we can provide them intelligence, certainly missile defense systems and air defense systems, offensive weaponry and defensive weaponry like Javelin, Stingers, tanks, and I think that's the way the world needs to go.
From coast to coast, from sea to shining sea, it's the Sean Hannity Show.
If your family depends on your income and something happened to you, what would happen to them? You need life insurance, and SelectQuote can help you get it at a price you can afford.
SelectQuote found Jacob, 40, who's in excellent health, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for only $19 a month.
Not in perfect health? Don't worry.
SelectQuote found Tanya, 40, who has type 2 diabetes, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for only $32 a month.
We shop companies like Protective, Prudential, American General, and others to find you the company with the best rates. Give your family the security they need at a price you can afford.
For your free quote, call 1-800-350-8989. That's 1-800-350-8989. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-350-8989.
SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policies at selectquote.com/commercials. Your premium could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Sometimes you need things done around your house or land that your lawnmower or weed eater just can't handle. That's when you call Prattville Farm Center. They bring their own crew and equipment and clear whatever you need. They say no job is too small. I've been going to Prattville Farm Center for years, and I like dealing with hometown folks. They get the job done right and get it done quickly. If you have land that needs clearing, call Randy at Prattville Farm Center on South Memorial Drive in Prattville. Call 365-5400.
Selecting the best choice for tires can be confusing with all the brands and options available. Trust the #1 rated tire pros in Montgomery at Chico's Auto Pros for your tire needs.
Oh man, I have another hangnail. You shouldn't pick at your toes. Daddy says you might cause ingrown toenails. Speaking of Daddy, it's time to remind people how important it is to see a podiatrist. Yeah, Shannon, our dad, Dr. Brian Kelly, treats things like tendonitis and bunions. If a person is diabetic, it's important to have a foot exam by a podiatrist. Call today for an appointment at 265-7585. Happy feet start here.
No representation is made as to the quality of podiatric services to be performed or as to the expertise of podiatrists performing such services.
An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Hi, I'm Dr. Brian Keeley, and as a podiatrist, it is my job to identify small problems in your feet and help prevent them from becoming big problems. New government regulations allow for an annual diabetic foot exam to cut down on the number of amputations and control the cost of health care. So call me, Dr. Brian Keeley, at 265-7585. That's 265-7585. Locations in Montgomery and Greenville. Follow us on Facebook at Greenville Foot Care. Happy feet start here.
No representation is made as to the quality of podiatric services to be performed or as to the expertise of podiatrists performing such services.
Join Sean Hannity Sundays at 3 p.m. for the Encore Show.
Chinese, the Russians, don't fear Joe Biden.
On News Radio 1440.
All righty then. We're back. We're back live and in person. If you want to give us a call. I know today it's just been a it's not really a slow news day. Just I'm tired of talking about Trump. But we got an election next month. We actually have an election. Now I can't figure out why Katie Britt won't come up here. So if anybody sees her out there, she went everywhere in town, but she hasn't come up here. Okay, with a real rubber hits the road. Okay, okay. She won't come up here, and I don't know why. I mean, she don't like. I mean, the only difference between me and everybody else is that I'm a little darker, I guess, but I'm pretty, pretty neutral. Uh, I lean toward the Republican Party. I mean, I know there's no denying that, but I don't know why she won't come up here. I don't know. She's scared of her brother. That's what she's scared. I know her husband's big, but I can handle him. Woo! Good morning. Who's this? Yes. Yeah. Well, that it never got to that point because my biggest impediment were a lot of women, and I just didn't want to deal with it. One of the things you had to do was wear your hair in a different like a young man should, and you couldn't walk around looking like a bum, and the women just went ape crap. So I just didn't want to deal with them. So. Right. I did that actually for 10 years. And all thing. Yeah. Feed who? Oh, well, I did feed some. But well, no, I don't. No, my job. Right. 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 Okay. Right. Okay. Well, what is their mission? What is their mission? I saw some of the mission, and part of their mission is not necessarily to support the nuclear family. And they're sponsored by some pretty nefarious organizations. But I hear what you're saying. Every group can handle everything. I agree with that. But I want to know. But when you say Black Lives Matter, why is it the only time you come out then is when a black person gets involved in an altercation with maybe somebody white or a law enforcement officer? Oh, by the state. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, that's what their thing is, and that's what their thing is, I guess. Yeah. I read some of it, but I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember that part. But then I guess that's what they're doing. Yeah, so I stand corrected. State they're not worried about the end. So unless you die by a member of the, unless you die by a member of the state, then all the other deaths don't matter. Mm-hmm. It does. That's not right. That's true. But now you gave me some clarification there that if their sole issue is the state, then okay, then, and that's what they do. In other words, if there's an issue with an officer, an issue with a state government agency, or killing folks, then that's what they do. Now, I had never actually read that part. I know I read some other things, but that's cool. Then that's what they do. Then that's good. All right, appreciate it. Then I guess that's what they do. That's what they do. That's what they do. They don't really care about the rest of them, I guess. Good morning. Hey,
Good morning. How you doing?
pretty good.
Hey, look here, Kevin. My thing is Black Lives Matter needs to probably add to their platform, educating brothers and sisters in your inner city and rural area schools. because the reason why you have the crimes that you do out there is because of the education factor. But some of these kids and everything, if you was to track them, Kevin, you'll find that some of these kids are problem kids in school. They don't show up, or if they show up, they're high. And then another thing, the parents are enabling their behavior. They're not supporting, supporting the schools to pretty much educate the kids, to supervise them. And eventually kids just skip and don't come to school. And then if they're not in the classroom, they're going to be in the courtroom by the way of your living room in your house, or either they're going to be in the ground in the upper room. Right. And unfortunately, that has been a pattern. And I can attest to that, and if you was attracted to kids, you'll find that they just didn't go to school. They didn't do well in school. Parents didn't support them. They enabled the negative behavior. And sometimes the parents would even smoke and drink with the kids. So you got all that. That's the issue you have. So if I was Black Lives Matter, one of the platforms, or one of the things I would add to my platform is miseducation of Black kids, or either educating Black kids. And I'm not talking about when I say that, I'm talking about focusing on the importance of educating our kids so that we won't be reading about them in the papers and everything. And Kevin, I'm going to say this in closing. Miss Katie Britt, I assume that she's a pretty good woman. She's running for governor?
Senate.
Okay, Senate, and your place is a safe place. I mean, you've had Republicans, Democrat alike, and it's a safe place.
Yeah.
So, but the only thing I can think of is that you're probably not a Mark Montel or Fox News, Sean Hannity, or Tucker Carlson.
Yeah.
You can probably respond to that. I'm not saying anything negative about them or whatever,
right.
But if they don't see that there's a benefit to being on your radio show, they're not going to be there. One of the things I respect about Miss Meadows is that she's always been there when you called on her.
She does. She does come. That's true. She does.
And then another thing that I respect about Tim James was his father. I was fond of his father's, politics at the time, although I didn't agree with a lot of it because it was on the other direction. But when he gave his word, Tim James would be okay if he didn't flaunt around this critical life theory or whatever, critical race theory. So yeah, Katie should come, but again, Kevin, like that, people, they don't find that you,
right,
that you,
right, yeah,
not gonna,
that's true.
Show up.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I just wanted to put that out there, man, and
all right.
So I continue to chime in.
Appreciate it. I'll take one more call before we go here. Good morning. Who's this? Lost that one. One more. Good morning.
Yeah. Hey, Kevin.
Yes.
So just quickly, because it just came up, but factually speaking, Black Lives Matter opposes the nuclear family, which would oppose, of course, what the Bible would say, and Black Lives Matter supports abortion, the killing of unborn Black children. And for the most part, Black Lives Matter has done very little other than to make a bunch of fat cats very, very rich.
Mm.
But anyway, to your point about Montgomery, it is very sad, and nothing is going to change. And the answer to what do we do? And the answer is a person has got to save their money and do whatever they can and get out.
Well, I'm not ready to give. Yeah, but I'm not ready to wave the white flag. But we do have to. He goes to public school right now, but I will admit to you that unless this new superintendent really comes out as a law and order kind of guy, and order and excellence is the standard, he probably won't be going back. Yeah. Me too. Well, I'm not ready to. I'm not, and you're a military man too. We don't throw in the towel, brother. We fight. Well, but that system is supposed to work for us. Supposed to. Well, I'm going to ask you the same question. Okay, I'm going to ask you the same question that Sean Connery asked Kevin Costner in that movie, The Untouchables. When he met him on the bridge, he said, "What are you willing to do?" Yes. Yeah. 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 Mm. All right. Hey, appreciate it. Got to take my last break an hour. We'll come back. What are we willing to do? That is the question we must ask. Are we willing to sacrifice our comfort, our money, and maybe our freedom to change it? What are we willing to do? We'll be back.
Sponsored by Indeed.com. If April is showering your company with open job positions, check out Indeed. Their all-in-one hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates, all in one place. Sponsor your first job today and get hiring by visiting Indeed.com/credit.
A beautiful but cooler day on the way today. Temperatures below average for this time of year by about 10 degrees or so. Ample sun from start to finish. We'll go from the 40s this morning into the upper 60s this afternoon. For tonight, another cool one down into the 40s. So jacket weather again Wednesday morning, but Wednesday starts a warming trend. We'll have more clouds Wednesday, partly to mostly cloudy, mid-70s, but then the 80s return starting Thursday and carry through the weekend and early next week.
That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. The big headache now is 85 southbound. An accident just before Chantilly Parkway as traffic on 85 southbound backed up to Pike Road. So please use caution and prepare for that. Trinity State Community College is offering continuing education classes in pharmacy technician and medical billing and coding. Classes start June 6th. Call 420-4240. That's Trenton State Continuing Education. Buckle up, it's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, this is Major Delay.
When it comes to tires, bald ain't so beautiful. It's time for a tire makeover at Chico's Auto Pros. Better price, better experience, guaranteed. 239-9510.
2022 is no time for beautiful windows in your home to be all covered up with the same blinds and shades you see in every home. And 2022 is definitely no time for cheap blinds and shades to leave your windows saying, "Please don't cover me up with these ugly coverings." This is Ben with Just Blinds in Prattville. Seriously, our goal is to help deliver a custom look for your home to be loved and timeless for years to come. Visit Just Blinds showroom in Prattville today or online at gojustblinds.com.
There's nothing like hearing the songs you love on local radio with no subscriptions and no monthly fees. But there's a new bill in Congress that could stop the music. If passed, this bill would tax your local radio station simply to play the music you love. Text LOCAL to 52886 and ask Congress to support local radio stations. Help us keep you connected to the music, local news, weather, and traffic that you need each day. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Attention men, have you ever been embarrassed when the time was right, but you just couldn't perform? Now there's hope. The secret starts with a visit to Montgomery Men's Health. Men from 21 to 93 are performing better than before, even when the pills don't work. Their urologist, Dr. Tom Alderson, is using treatments that can help you perform for 30 minutes to an hour and a half of full male performance, all without surgery. Your total cost for the doctor's visit, all tests, including a PSA and testosterone test, is only $99. Give them a call, even if the pills haven't worked or you have a medical issue like heart problems or prostate issues. If you have erectile dysfunction and want to perform much better, call now. 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMensHealth.com. Get your confidence back. 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663. See website for more information like side effects. Treatments extra. Results may vary. MontgomeryMensHealth.com.
Shop the Rustic Furniture Outlet at American Oak and More.
Handmade solid wood rustic furniture at factory direct prices.
Up to 70% off every day.
How can we sell so cheap?
Because we are a direct outlet for the factory.
We have over 1,500 items in stock available for immediate pickup or have it delivered.
Plus, we have truckloads arriving weekly.
Bedroom suites, table and chairs, occasional tables, entertainment center, consoles, gun cabinets. If it's rustic, we got you covered.
The Rustic Furniture Outlet, Wetumpka Highway, next to American Oak and More. This is Cody Wool from American Oak and More. This is your special invitation to our 28th anniversary sale going on now. For a limited time, everything in American Oak and More's inventory, catalog, and special orders is 50% off the top tag price. That's right, half off. Living room, dining room, bedroom, home office, and outdoor. Interest-free financing available. Hurry, sale ends soon. Mattress accessories and cozy excluded.
I've been saying for almost 30 years.
You don't gotta fake money, so don't gotta fake wood.
He's smart, witty, and fast on the draw. It's Mark Levin this afternoon at 5 p.m. on News Radio 1440.
Always be beside me. How many roads have the night? So many words left unspoken.
The numbers here are 860-1440. If you want to give us a call, love to talk to you, whatever on your mind. This morning we talked about we got an election coming up next month, and it's really been kind of quiet, to tell you the truth. It's really been, most of you didn't know there are 3 people running for governor, 2 black women running for governor of the state of Alabama. I had one of them up here last week, Ms. Flowers. There's another one too. There are a lot of folks. I believe that Hank Sanders' daughter is running. Haven't heard from them. But they got to know about Montgomery. This is where things happening around here. So, and Birmingham don't even matter. But a lot of things going on. I don't know why Democrats even in this race, but it's nice to see that people at least shooting their shot. Good morning. Who's this? Yes.
How you doing, sir?
Pretty good.
When I talked to Charlotte yesterday before you hung up on me,
Mhm.
I asked her a question. It wasn't the Republican over the school system, and she said, "Talk to your legislature." Last I looked, it was controlled by the majority Republicans. They passed stuff that they want to pass now. When it came to the critical race theory, they made a law with that, and the governor signed it. When it came to the kids going in the boy bathroom, girl boy bathroom, or whatever, they passed that bill. So they can pass a bill to take control over all our student education.
I think we've already done that, and that that doesn't change the culture. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's true. They can pass any law they want to within 24 hours if they wanted to do it. But you got to convince people. One of the impediments is that politics. Well, I got to go because I'm running out of time, though. I'm just running out of time.
I mean, they're like, folks running, keep on going, tight road. They're gonna be a touch. You gotta why keep on running from other folks and stuff. Take control of your neighborhood. Take control of your schools.
Okay. All right. Good morning. How you doing, Fernando? Where you been?
I'm doing great, Kevin. So our callers come in. You asked, what can we do? What do we need to do to get out of our comfort zone? Now, one thing, Montgomery's been having these office of intervention meetings for the last few months, and people always complain about this should be done, that should be done, but the turnout at those events are not as big as I thought they would be. I've been to a number of them, and people have a lot of the same concerns: police response time, the random shootings that happen around Montgomery. What can they do? And I would say people need to come out to those meetings, let their voices be heard, and let people know this is what's going on in my neighborhood.
Right, but here lies another problem, Renee. As a matter of fact, I got a chair for you tomorrow if you want it, because I've been trying to get with you. You need to be in tomorrow about. You want to come at 7? You want to come at 8? All right. Well, we'll see you then. And where we're located, right? Okay. One of the problems, though, the people that need to hear the information at these meetings are the crooks and the people who disturb our community. They're not coming to a meeting.
Exactly. And that's been brought up in a number of those meetings that they're not going to be there. And so what the plan is to affect the community to put the word out, let the mamas and the daddies and the grandmas and uncles who are coming to these reach out and grab their kids and their families.
Yeah.
Affecting that change at that level.
I think one of the things we need to do, if your kid persists on going to school and creating hell in the community, we need to start fining parents. Find them. Once you hit that pocketbook, that gets people's attention.
Right. And there is some things I know, like in the court system right now, they can't make the parents parties to cases all the time. They do, and that's something they can do. And I think a lot of times there's a hesitation to do that, penalize the parents. But that is something that there are some powers out there to do.
Well, you tell us about it tomorrow, so we know. All right, appreciate it. Okay, that's right. He's running for one of them judge seats. I don't know which one, but appreciate him giving us a call, because we are in an election. You can't sit home and go through this election cycle and then start whining when it's all over. I didn't know there was an election. I don't know. If you don't know there's an election, you probably don't need to vote. Okay, so because you're not going to make a conscious decision about putting people in office anyway, because you don't know what the hell's going on. So you just make sure you stay home. Let my vote count for more. Okay, you just stay home. Don't even worry about voting. Now, I'll vote for both of us, all 3 of us, or 10 of us, however many of you guys need. Y'all just stay home. No, if you can't help it, don't hurt it. Okay, if you can't help, don't hurt. Okay, that's where I'm looking at things. Anyway, what else is going on? I had some, I sat on at night and I put all this stuff down on paper I want to talk about. And then when I get here, I really don't talk about it. Did anybody see the president didn't know where he was yesterday? He was actually shaking the hand of somebody that wasn't even there. Did y'all see that? Yeah, it's time for him to go home. It's time for Biden to go home. Good morning. Okay. See, that's the last time I'm put it with him. I'm banning that man. I'm tired of hearing from him now. So, okay. So now, don't call no more, Ed. We done. We done for a month. We done. I'm just going to hang up on you, so don't call. Don't even call. If I even think it's you, I'm going to hang up. All right? I'm tired. You're lucky I got that caller ID, because I blocked that number. Anyway, so much for that. What else is going on? Oh, one more thing. Told you about what happened at the food outlet. How old is too old to run for office? I say 70, call it a day. You know what I mean? Good morning. Who's this? And what did I take? What did I take? We done. We done for a month. Okay, we're done. 860-1440. I'm not going to change my mind. We're done for a month. Okay. Call the other station. Talk to them. Okay? Don't talk to me. We're done talking for a while. I just ain't gonna ban you for life. But we done talking. Okay. So what else is going on? Young man shoots his dad. Fatally shoots his father during an argument at Lee County. So some more diversity in the news. Oh man, my time is up. Bye.
Good morning, I'm Judd Davis. Here's what's happening in the news on this Tuesday.
Where did the time
go? A
go?
judge in Florida struck down a national mask mandate for public transportation. Last week, the Biden administration and CDC extended the mask mandate to protect against COVID-19 through May 3rd. The judge said the CDC exceeded.
I don't know why everybody's so worried about a mask for. I'm not worried about a mask.
Rulemaking. This is for people traveling in planes and public transportation. Montgomery County District Attorney Dale Bailey has officially filed a motion to have Aaron Cody Smith's bond appeal revoked. The former Montgomery police officer killed Gregory Gunn while on patrol in 2016. He was convicted of manslaughter. On Friday, state courts denied Smith's petition to remain out of prison while his appeal is before the Supreme Court.
People,
Take that bowl of cereal this morning. Listen
down the
to
road.
reports that Lucky Charms
Thank
are making
you
people
for your
sick.
service.
Hundreds of consumers reported nausea, vomiting, and stomach pain after eating the cereal. There hasn't been a recall issue.